Peace to the world, Montaru is here. Hello all, welcome back to another stream of Zero Escape, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Though we found there are apparently 11 doors. And apparently not even 9 persons. There was at least one other person with Guy X. Honestly. Why do they even name it that? The only thing... these don't even work. I'm very annoyed that this apparently doesn't even work as a title. So silly. Okay, let us resume. So last time we managed to get the safe ending, or the zero lost ending, whatever it's actually supposed to be called, I don't actually know. Oh, wait a second. Is this starting me up at the beginning? Yeah, okay, we are not doing that. So all of the red keys bring me here. And... so, let's try going to here. What pathway did this actually take me towards?
7 pieces.
Did this give me all the keys? Yeah, okay. So we got all the keys from here. I think I'm going to try going this way, because if I had to guess, getting all of the red keys and going the opposite way will give me another door, will give me another ending. Whereas doing like the alternate path here, it would give me a different colored key, and I can do the endings for here and here. So I'm going to attempt that and see if that worked out. Okay, so this is 6 door, so I need the 1 door. The pieces of paper they'd folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's leg. Everyone had written on the paper pulled from Junpei's notebook in an effort to put together a blind vote.
Just double checking, but everyone wrote their code.
We can skip. Blah 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 blah. 7, I think, called Lotus an exhibitionist at that point. So I need to pick door 1.
My choice is door 1.
Santa was unconvinced.
Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating?
Yes.
Cheating?
I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what doors we wanted.
Yes, I did.
How could I do that? I wrote it down on the paper earlier.
Let me see that.
Sure, here.
They shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. The others peered at it as well. As they did, Junpei quickly slipped the piece of paper he'd been hiding into his pocket. Although he'd never know it now, Santa had been justified in his suspicions. Junpei had switched the papers.
I had 3 pieces of paper ready.
For doors 1, 2, and
That was
6.
the one with door 6 on it into the pot.
He put a small mark on so he would know which one was
I
his.
just needed to make sure I drew last. After I saw everyone else's result, I just chose whatever door I wanted. If the number I'd already put in matched, then I didn't have to switch the paper out. Well, what does it say?
He fought the urge to smirk.
You got lucky.
Okay, thank you. That's literally what this was. Santa snored and tossed the paper aside, frustrated.
Very well. We've decided who will go through door 1. It will be Clover, Junpei, and myself.
Yeah, that works
Our
out fine.
only problem is the 2 remaining teams.
June and I want door 6.
Lotus and I want door 2.
That's not good. We can't open either of those doors with only 2 people.
No.
Aw.
Fine. 7, we'll go through door 6.
Will that add up fine? Yes, it
Sure
will.
thing. I didn't really want to go through door 2 anyway. Besides, if we've got a younger girl with us, it'll lower the average age. Right, June?
Well, I
7, why are you commenting on this? June was at a loss for words. Lotus was not.
Pig. You just wait and see.
I will punch you. Her eyes were the eyes of a woman prepared to kill, a shiver ran down Junpei's spine.
Calling me old. This is why men are such a pain in the ass. They're about as subtle as a brick.
And they're at it again.
Thank you, Lotus. This is very important for us to know. Even after they separated the staircase, Lotus was still muttering angrily to herself.
I'll see you later, June.
Bye.
Jumpy.
It's okay, June. We've only seen you die twice. I mean, what are the odds we'll see it happen a third time? The circumstances dictated that Junpei and June would have to part ways again, but this time didn't sting quite so much.
Don't make that face. It'll be like what Seven said.
We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9.
Mm-hmm.
We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. And that's how the notary game works.
Seven's words took a weight off Junpei's shoulders and felt much better.
It'll be fine. I'll see you soon.
All right. See you later.
Lingering uneasily lingering unease. Shouldn't that be unease? That says lingering uneasy remained. That should be unease, I'm pretty sure. But they went their separate directions without too much trouble. Pretty sure that's supposed to be unease. Junpei, Ace, and Clover headed towards
Here's
A-Deck.
A-Deck. It was the door on the left, right?
Yes.
That should be it, yes.
Then here we go.
It opened and they walked through.
It's just as Santa and Lotus said.
It's a 1! At the end of the hallway said a door with a large red 1 upon it.
Numbered door.
To the left of it, bolted to the wall, was the red.
There's the red. I'll go first.
Okay. Ace went first and waved his wrist over the scanner panel.
Now the two of you, if you would.
Junpei was next. Finally, listlessly, Clover lifted her arm. She leaned toward the scanner panel. 3 asterisks clicked to life, shining brightly. Ace took hold of the lever.
Now,
He took a deep breath and turned to Junpei and Clover.
are you ready? Shall I pull it?
No.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay. Clover said nothing. I mean, she hummed. She nodded a little more than a lethargic twitch of the head.
Very well then. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Ace, why did you only say your number? I'm 5 and Clover is 4.
And it's open! Move it!
Why'd you have to remind us of Snake? They stumbled into the room.
Where is it?
Frantically, Junpei scanned the room. His eyes stopped on the device that would determine whether they lived or died.
There it is! Oh,
Next to the door they come through was the dead. As one, they ran to it. They put their hands over it as if they were fighting for it.
it stopped.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Ace and Clover were breathing hard and fast.
I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
I don't think I want to get used to
I'm
that.
not sure it's something I'd want to get used to.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Junpei, for repeating what
We
you
should finish
usually
this
say.
game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
I agree.
Now then.
Looked around again, this time more slowly.
There's another door.
Hello,
Let's try opening
door.
it.
Another door? Turned the knob, easily pulled it open.
So, this is the wheelhouse?
Mm-hmm. He closed the door again and turned to Ace and Clover. Fixed each in turn with a meaningful stare, then spoke.
Ace, you investigate the wheelhouse next door.
Very well.
Clover, you're in charge of this room. Say something.
Something.
Okay, I will.
All right then, let's get started.
Thank you, Junpei. Seek a way out. Alrighty. It's a chair. A chair. Clover isn't talking much. Well, I guess that's understandable. I mean, she's been through a lot. Really, it's more surprising that she's still together enough to talk at all. Yeah. Stack of nautical charts. It's missing a corner. There's a nautical chart. There's a line here. I think this line is the route the ship is supposed to take. There are dots all over the map. So those are probably ports, like for a boat to stop at. Looks like the lines connect to the dots. Nothing left in the drawer. I'm guessing there aren't any other drawers. Got a compass. Or a pocket watch. A voice he had inspected startled Junpei from examination of the pocket watch.
Pocket watch? Might I take a look at it?
Ace, you're supposed to be in the other room. He spun around to find Ace standing in the doorway. Junpei shrugged and handed him the pocket watch.
Man, what are you doing over in this room?
Oh, I just thought I'd come check up on the two of you. Is there a problem?
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Ace's eyebrows went up.
Checked on us. Now get out of here. We split this stuff up for a reason, all right?
But why did I say that? I didn't need to speak to Ace that way.
I did because Ace is a meanie. We found that out in the last timeline. Ace opened his mouth, then took another look at Junpei and shut it again. A small smirk appeared on his face.
Oh, I see. Of course.
He looked at Junpei over, then glanced at Clover.
I apologize for the intrusion.
Yeah, we were rude, but Ace is a murderer.
Well, best of luck.
We found that out the last time, Zevi. Ace gave Junpei a knowing pat on the shoulder and left.
Ow.
For no reason he could fathom, Junpei's head began to hurt.
What the hell? My head.
A sharp pain in his head. How much time passed, he wasn't sure, but he did notice when Ace strode through the door. Small details. His smile was more than a smirk, and he had the air of a man who knew more than his opponent.
Yes. There was something I wanted to check, if you don't mind.
Yeah? What's that?
Pardon me.
No warning, Ace slipped his hand in the pocket of Junpei's vest.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? Whoa, what are you putting your hand in my pocket for? Stop!
He reached for Ace's arm, but it was already too late. In the older man's hand were the pieces of paper Junpei had balled up and hidden in his pocket.
Just as I thought. You switched them, didn't you, when we voted?
Yes.
Well, I can't say that I care. I managed to get through the numbered door I wanted, despite your mischief.
Then, why did you...
Oh, simple curiosity. I hope you won't think ill of me for it.
No, I think ill of you for other reasons. Also, hi, Twister. Ace smiled, gave Junpei a friendly pat on the shoulder, then turned it on his heel and left. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand, and he knew it. You could feel in his stomach begin to tense.
Damn.
Meanwhile, Clover is just watching this like, what is going on between these two? Then again, Clover might just be staring at the floor. It's the right drawer. Let's have a look. Nothing. The left drawer? Let's have a look. Nothing. This is a pretty empty desk. My brother's desk looked a lot like this. Because he couldn't see, he never put stuff on it that he didn't need. Damn, that's... What am I supposed to say to that, poor kid? How am I today? I'm doing fine. The shelves are lined with books. Let's see what's in this blue one. There's something written on it. Chip's log. Huh? Chip's log, huh? New material has been added to the file screen. Wrong button. Written on the last page, we leave soon for a new journey across the sea. After leaving port, we head south and west. We turned southwest to steer around the continent and proceed northwest. We made port, then changed our heading to east for a time, now heading due north. Soon we'll dock in the United Kingdom, the homeland of this vessel. Okay. It's a wooden box. Maybe a case for letters? Hey, Clover, you ever write letters? Nothing. Hey, Clover, do you know how to write? Alright, let's check in on Ace. Oh, this isn't good. So many drawers, but nothing inside of them. Compass. It appears to be broken, however. You see, the glass covering has been smashed to pieces. A desk. Anything in the drawers? Nope. The helm. Well, steering wheel might be a more appropriate term. What is this? A lock. Looks like some sort of lock. It's got a weird shape indentation on it. Huh? This shape. Maybe. Does look like the pocket watch would fit here. Nothing. Imagine the pocket watch is intended to go there. However, may need to do something with the watch first. Yep. Mechanical doesn't appear to be working. Hands have stopped at 5 minutes, 9 seconds past 10 o'clock. Turn the knob does nothing. Yeah, it's probably broken. So you can move the hands, however. You can only move the hands manually. Okay. Well, I don't know if we can do anything with that. Great. What is this? Some kind of display? Looks a little like an electronic scoreboard. I imagine it was added recently. How are the rest of you guys doing today, though? An engine ordered telegraph. They used it in old ships to adjust the speed of the ship. Like the gear shift in a car? Well, it's a little different. This device doesn't connect directly to the engine. In short, it's a transmitter. The navigation officer uses it to set the speed of a ship, and it sends a signal to the engine. There's a handle on top which you move back and forth to... Hold on. Huh? There's no handle. You're right, there isn't. Looks as though it was deliberately removed. Well, we can't do anything without that, then. A steering wheel. Let's see if it... Whoa! Looks like the steering wheel moves. So it would seem. I noticed something else as well. What's that? Well, when you move this wheel, the compass also moves. What do you mean? The ship... It's moving. Ha! Tricked you, didn't I? The wheel and the compass must be connected to one another somehow. Started Crown Tundra? Nice. Hope you enjoy it. Do you think it's important? Now let's try turning it again. Okay, there's circular... Oh, no. What was the, log actually on here? Okay. After leaving port, we headed south and west. So would that be southwest? Moving the direction change. I swear something like this had direction. Maybe if I enter the directions in that order. South. And west. Then southwest. I can't check the thing. Then it said like northeast, I want to say. Okay, I need to actually... Nothing is happening. Junpei, it's almost certainly one of Zero's puzzles. Must be a clue. Yeah, I know. I know what it is, but I couldn't... But, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to check what it is. Okay. Type into here. South and west. Southwest. Northwest. East. North. Oh, wait a second. Oh. Okay. I'm not sure when it says south and west if that means southwest. I assume I would mean do them both. So let's just try it in that way. South and west. And it goes southwest. Then it goes northwest. Then it goes east. And then north. What the? The handle came off. Stooping so low, are you, Zero? Yay! Alright, think we can use the handle on this now? So, I sure hope this handle fits. Yes, it fits! Excellent! That should allow us to operate the engine or telegraph. Let's give it a shot. Dead slow. Slow. Half. Full. Oh, I have no idea what it is we're supposed to be doing with that. I have no idea what I'm supposed to set this to. And I have no idea what I'm supposed to... Junpei, take a look at this. Look at the door of the chart room. There's something above it. Thank you. On the arrival board, there's only stuff displayed on the left side. What the hell is this? It's the name of the ports in the world. I imagine showing us the ship's route. You know, just like the ones you might see at an airport. Departing XX carrier, XX flight at XX, XX at XX o'clock. Like that. Oh, I get it. It does look like those names are all the ports. There's only one line that shows the arrival time. Ah, the time on the board, right? 47 seconds and 25 minutes past 7 o'clock. Perhaps that's the arrival time? Around destination. Time is set to 25 minutes and 47 seconds past 7 o'clock. Why would they specify seconds? Okay. Do I use the pocket watch on this? This time is suspicious. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's even to the last second bar. That has to be the meaning behind it. Oh, perhaps. Ace suddenly went up to Junpei. Excuse me, Junpei. Hey, you just took my pocket watch. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Just trust me. Should be fine now. Well, thanks for giving me the pocket watch back, but you didn't need to look so smug about it. Took it and looked at the needle. Then, 47 seconds, 25 minutes past 7 o'clock. Oh, so you changed it to match the final arrival time. Ace nodded slowly. You know what to do next, right? Give it a shot. Like some sort of lock. It's got a weird shape indentation at. Actually, might be the pocket watch that would fit in there. That's strange. Nothing's happened. Perhaps we set it to the wrong time? Well, the arrival board has the time for the final destination. It's not the hands on the watch and the time, so you're saying that the arrival board has the wrong time? Yeah, I think it might be. Need to figure out how to get it to show the right one. Map. It's got the Atlantic Ocean in the middle. Hey, Junpei, what do you think those red things are? They look like pins. What do you think they're for? Who knows? What do you mean, who knows? Come on, be serious. I am? Red pins. I wonder what they mean. Okay, put the nautical chart on here. There's a map like this, and maybe one of them matches up to the pins or something. Let's see. You know, it looks like it matched to the pins. You got 7 locations connected by straight lines. Each has a word next to it. That's probably the speed. Thank you. Nautical table. Full, half, slow, full, half, dead, dead, stop. Full, half, slow, full, half, dead, stop. Probably put the extra L in that. Oh, yeah. I don't understand. Maybe it has to do with, like, the touchscreen, or with the touchscreen for when this was originally a DS game. But I really think that they should have, like, let you check the file. Okay, so full, half, slow, full, half, dead, stop. That's weird. I thought I put in the right speed. Did I mess up? No, I don't think so. The same thing happened earlier, remember? There's been a change in the arrival board. Yeah, you're right. Let's check it out. I'm sure it is something like that, but it's like, that would be really nice to actually have. Time. Junpei, take a look. The display panel looks different. Yeah, you're right. Only the things left to have on it. This line says the estimated arrival time of the final destination is 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Then you mean... I see. Good work, Junpei. You're a sharp one. You matched up the hands of the watch like I did earlier, didn't you? Now you've set it 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Yep. And surely you know what needs to happen next, right? Let's give it a shot, shall we? And poop. Some sort of lock. It's got a weird shape indentation. Looks like pocket watch I got. Let's put this in here. Yes, it says open now. Good work. It seems you were successful. Well done, Junpei. Hey, Clover. What? Look, we unlocked the door. Now we can get out of this room. Oh. Well, let's go then. Over. You found it!
Oh, a hallway.
Yes.
It's far too narrow to be called one.
Found themselves in a small space outside of the wheelhouse. On their left was a wooden door.
This seems to be the only route.
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty. What's inside?
Wow.
It was full of all manner of turn-of-the-century electronic equipment.
Well, these machines are weird. I've never seen any of them before. Huh? Wait, this one is...
What is it? One smaller machine had a metal bar that had a circular handle. Ace seemed to recognize it. Isn't that a Morse code device?
Ah, yes. A telegraph key. These were used to transmit Morse code a long time ago.
Yay! He turned, slowly took in the room.
This must be the communication office.
Yep, that makes sense. Across the room from the door they entered through was another door.
And that door?
Metal plaque was nailed to it. It read,
Captain's quarters. Huh.
That's what it says.
Then, do you think...
0. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Ace swallowed. Junpei could feel his hand begin to sweat. Only Clover seemed unaffected.
Well, we won't know if we don't open it.
Okay, let's open it then. She walked to the door and put her hand on the knob. It opened easily, and without so much as a pause, she walked in. Junpei and Ace followed. First thing they saw was a man on the floor covered in blood. Well, I guess Zero's dead. Junpei felt his body seize up. His mouth went dry and he felt very, very cold. Blood in his veins slowed to a crawl and his heart tightened like a fist.
Not again.
This was the third time he'd seen the horror of death laid before him. He didn't think it was something he could stand to see much more of. Still, he had begun to accept that whatever it was that he saw, whatever happened to him, was beyond his control. Whatever force controlled him was driven by a determination that he could not hope to match.
Damn.
A sense of helplessness, of desperation washed over him. It left behind a feeling of utter emptiness that wormed its way through his body like acid.
No, wait. We didn't check his pulse yet.
Maybe he's still alive.
I mean, okay, that's possible. Very doubtful, but possible. Fueled by the spark of hope, Junpei ran to the man's body, and his heart fell. When he touched the hand to his neck,
No pulse.
his pupils had dilated. He wasn't breathing.
Well, he's dead. Damn. If only we knew how it happened.
Junpei left the man's already stiff body. There was a deep red wound on his chest.
These wounds. I wonder what killed him.
Junpei did not have to wonder long.
It must have been this.
For lying next to the corpse was an axe. The entire blade of it was drenched in bright red blood. From the shape of the man's wound, there could be no doubt that it had made by the axe. Junpei looked at the body again. A lake of blood stretched out beneath it. It was wearing the clothes of the ship's captain, although they were stained with blood.
His clothes. A captain. Does that mean this guy was Zero?
Hi, Zero. On his left hand was a bracelet. The number on the bracelet was 0.
Bracelet 0.
Also, I love that the implications of this is that Clover killed this guy in the other timeline because she had the 0 bracelet on her. I guess maybe he could have just been dead in general. He could have just been dead when Clover showed up, but also apparently like Lotus and Seven never found him. He couldn't help but laugh. There was nothing else for him to say. It was too simple, too obvious, too straightforward. If there hadn't been a dead man on the floor, Junpei might have thought it a joke. This would have been a funny joke, but there's a dead person in front of me.
It may be wise to find a way out of here first.
Yeah, you're right.
Seek a way out. It's a camera. A camcorder. Looks like it's pointing at the door. Well, the power's on. Why would someone want to videotape a door? There's blood on the chair. Do you think this was the dead guys? Yeah, probably. A bed. There's nothing in it. Music box, yay! And a lamp! It's a lamp, but it doesn't turn on. I don't think there's anything special about it. Screen shows a big hospital room. Hallway. There's a bunch of weird buttons here that probably switch what you see on the screen. You know how to work this thing? Why don't we just press one of these? Like this one. 0. I guess it does change the... What the hell is this?
Huh.
Junpei snorted with grim humor for the second time since he come into this room. The 4 screens along the bottom had a single letter, each one spelling out.
Zero, huh?
It's like he's making fun of us.
What
Yeah.
do you think?
Yes, the dead man is making fun of us. Turned to Clover, who was standing next to him. Clover nodded.
Nothing.
It seemed that she cared about little. Of course, Junpei could hardly blame her. Given the strain she was under, Junpei was somewhat surprised she had responded at all. Still, he had to ask. He gestured toward the corpse.
What about him? Do you think that's really Zero?
Clover shook her head weakly.
There's no way that's him. Didn't I tell you already? Zero is one of us.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's important to figure out who this guy is, but don't you think we should figure out how to get out of here first?
Probably.
But
Please, I don't want to waste any more time.
Okay, Clover. Clover looked miserable, as if she could start crying at any moment. Junpei just didn't have the heart to tell her no.
All right, sure thing.
Was his mind playing tricks on him, Junpei wondered. For a moment, he could have sworn he'd seen Clover smile. There's nothing on this monitor, just static. Isn't the door on the screen behind us? You're right. So whatever the camera sees is sent to the screen in real time. Whatever that means something, you know? There's a Z. There's an E. There's an R. There's an O. Nothing. Looks like it doesn't work anymore. Way to go, Junpei. You broke it. What's the deal with this? Some kind of code? There are 4 rows of numbers and letters. They all start with 0 and end with 8. And with 8, F, N, or V, respectively. Maybe this has something to do with number bases? New material's been added to... What? Symbol found in the cabinet cards, 10 in base 10 is written as A in hexadecimal, therefore 11 is B, 12 is C, 13 is D, 14 is E, and so on. Chart follow the rules for each numerical system. Okay. Thank you. And that's it. There's a Z on the screen. So I assume that that has to do with, like, the bases. Batteries, there's a cable running them from them to the monitor. What are you? Small screwdriver. Set of small screwdrivers. Having used them to dismantle small devices. Yay, we got a cylinder. I don't know what we will do with the cylinder, but... Oh, hey, a thing. Ink! There's nothing in the drawer anymore. Old telegraph machine, I'll be honest, I have no idea how this works. An old telegraph machine, nothing suspicious here. It's nothing suspicious here. Hey Ace, look, it's a model of the steam train. How on earth did you arrive at that conclusion? It's a telegraph machine, a machine for transmitting Morse code. Tried saying an SOS earlier, but I doubt it did anything. Zero would never make it that easy. Do you think it's broken? No, it works. I'm just not sure if it actually transmits anything outside of the ship. I don't know if you're hearing the plane in the background. Are we doing anything? Hey Ace, look, it's a monkey with glasses. How on earth did you arrive at that conclusion? Yes, normal light. Well, it won't turn on, so maybe not that normal. Okay, we need to find something with Morse code. A clock mounted on the wall. The hands are moving. No surprise the time is wrong then, I suppose. There's nothing on the back. A chair. Thank you, Ace. Hey, what's this? It's blank. There's nothing written on it. Paper. Looks as though the drawer is only locked. Don't see a keyhole, though. Electronic lock, perhaps? Yeah, there's some cables there. That must mean... Okay. I think what I need to do is... I guess I'll put the ink on the cylinder and then do this. Yay, Morse code chart. Early telecommunications device, most likely used by radio to transmit. I examined it earlier, but to no avail. I imagine it's broken. Come on, I want to talk to this thing. Thank you. Alright, got Morse code I'm supposed to enter. If I do this, something will happen, I hope. Alright, let's give this a shot. Okay, so... 2, 3... Doop, 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 doop. I wonder what that actually translates to in Morse code. That's the last one, and yes!
Excellent work, Junpei. Good job. You seem to have figured it out. You've unlocked the drawer. What was in the drawer? A book! A red file lay on the drawer. Junpei reached down and picked it up.
Looks like there's something on the cover. ALLICE.
All ice.
But isn't it supposed to say all ice? This doesn't have a space between the L and the I. Are they saying that ALLICE is a single word?
Alice. What? It was an interesting thought, but it left Junpei's mind quickly as he opened the file. What lay inside was far more interesting and far more confusing. Each page was covered with strange characters. They looked like tiny drawings of birds and snakes, insects, horned animals, wings, and even kneeling humans. There were many pages in the file, each was full of these strange symbols.
What the hell is this?
Hieroglyphics. He didn't realize he'd spoken out loud until Ace looked over at him.
They are hieroglyphs, a form of writing used in ancient Egypt.
Ancient Egypt?
That's right.
Can you read them?
Of course. I can't.
Yeah.
What would make you think I could?
I don't know. You might have picked it up as a hobby at one point.
What the hell?
Junpei flipped through a few more pages. It wasn't just one or two pages that were covered in strange symbols. Every single page was covered in them.
The whole thing's like that.
Trying to read them was pointless. Junpei wasn't going to waste any more time with them. He made to close the file. And something fell out.
What's this?
He bent down and picked it up.
Oh, a key card.
Oh boy. There was a symbol on it that reminded Junpei of the symbols for the Saturn and Mercury key cards. This one, however, had a dot in the center of the male symbol. Is that Pluto, then? Which one? Is that Pluto or Neptune?
Uranus.
It is
That's
Uranus?
the Uranus symbol.
Oh, I thought we already seen Uranus already. Went over to see Ace examining the card. Okay, actually, no, that makes sense if it's Uranus, because it's pointing at the sky.
Something's written on the bottom. Bottom deck library. This must be the key to the library, then. Is
Oh,
the bottom
boy.
deck a library?
I guess so.
Anyway, whatever. It's gonna have to wait. I can't do anything right now.
He gripped the keycard tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. New material's been added to the file screen. Is that about hieroglyphs? And a unique key. Alright, I think that's about everything we're gonna find in here. Okay, you use the unique key for here. Junpei, look, there's a minus screen on here. There's 8 of them. That probably means we put in 8 digits. Think you can figure it out? I know what I need to do. Let me check what, the, thing is. Okay. So... 26 plus 9... Or no, 26 plus 10. So 36 would be Z. I'm doing this correctly. So 36. E is 14, I believe. E, I believe, is 14. Yeah, E is 14. No. 36, 14, R... 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 0 is 24. Or O is 24. So 24, 25, 26, 27. 27, 24. So it should be 36, 14, 27, 24. Eight digits, huh? Once I put in the... Yeah. 36... 14... 27... 24. No, I got it wrong. I guess I did 0 wrong then. Okay. Okay, if R is 27, STUVWXYZ, that's 8. So 35 then? Oh yeah, I was off by 1 number. I think I misinterpreted something along the way. Okay, so 35, 14, 27, and 24. Yep, okay. I just counted wrong when it came to 0. Or Z. Good job, Junpei. Excellent, you seem to have unlocked it. Good work, Junpei. Alright, let's go. We're just gonna leave the dead body here. You found it! They stepped out of the captain's quarters and into another hallway. The hallway stretched out in front of Junpei for a bit before turning left like a great backwards
All right,
L.
Let's go.
Junpei rounded the corner and took off down the straightaway. He ran, and ran, and ran! At the end of the hallway was a door.
That's the next door.
He made straight for it.
Wait, a piece of paper.
Ooh, paper. It's nearly halfway when you notice a piece of paper in the middle of the floor. Junpei skidded to the halt. He dropped down to his hands and knees and quickly tore the paper off the floor.
Map of the ship's interior for ADEC.
Ooh, that's helpful.
What's wrong?
Ace, slightly slower by virtue of his advanced age, had finally caught up to Junpei.
I found a map for this floor.
He showed Ace what he snatched from the wall. He looked at it long enough to determine what it was and nodded.
I see.
That he began running again past Junpei.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Oh, you have a map? Okay, bye.
I should keep this, though.
Junpei shoved the map into his pocket and got up to follow Ace, but something stopped him.
Hey, where's Clover?
He turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Damn it, what the hell is she up to?
Junpei muttered angrily under his breath and took off back the way he'd come. As he stomped around the corner, he saw her. She was standing in front of the door to the captain's quarters, her hands on the doorknob.
Clover!
Huh?
As Junpei watched, she closed it gently and quietly.
What the hell are you doing?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
Clover had unconsciously put her hands over the pockets of her jacket, as if trying to hide something.
What the hell is that?
What?
You've got something in your pocket. What is it?
Oh, this? This is...
This is snacks.
I wonder...
Clover.
What the hell?
Come on, we gotta hurry.
Clover, no, we're not dropping this. And with that, Clover ran straight past a somewhat confused Junpei. As she did, he caught a glimpse of her back.
Huh? Clover, what's that on your back?
Sticking up from her collar was something that looked like a big wooden stick. I wonder what that could be.
Stick? Hey, Clover, what the hell's that thing on your back?
She didn't respond. Instead, she quickly turned the corner and disappeared.
Is she ignoring me?
Yes, she is.
For crying out loud.
Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later, and ran off after Clover. Junpei, what was the only thing with a big wooden stick in that room? Come on, dude. You're not that stupid, are you? Junpei pushed through the door and found himself in a large room with a large set of stairs.
Stairs. Huh. So this is where it ends up. Just like it says on the map.
We're such idiots when it comes to leaving the dangerous weapons behind in this room. Like,
Oh man, here's a loaded gun. Let's just leave it here. Oh man, here's this giant axe. Let's leave it here. Here's the ninth man's knife. Let's leave it here.
Just like it says on the map, it was just what he expected to see after reading the map. His IC after reading the map himself meant that Ace was probably realized the same thing.
Ace, did he head down?
He put his hands on the handrail and leaned over to look down.
There he is.
Look, the 4 others are there too.
Not just Ace, Santa, June, Seven, and Lotus as
Really?
well.
Let's join them.
Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. They reached B deck at the same time.
Jumpy, Clover.
June's face was excited. Something had happened, that much Junpei could tell, but by looking at her,
What's up?
given their situation, he was not inclined. Junpei can deduce who was the murderer, but he can't figure out what the stick was. Exactly! June, however, couldn't contain herself.
We found it.
Found what?
Door
We
9?
found it.
What did you find?
It!
The last door. We found door 9.
Yay.
What?
Come on! Just follow us. We'll explain on the way.
Okay. Seven turned and jogged down the stairs.
Well, if that's the case.
Wait for me.
We should get going as well.
Yeah, let's go. The rest followed.
Jumpy, we finally made it.
Yay. The relief and excitement in her voice echoed what each of them felt.
Yeah, it's finally time.
Does the submarine... I'm just realizing, does the submarine honestly never come up again aside from the submarine ending? Because I'm realizing that slowly, just like, I don't think it ever does. So what was the point of having a submarine? Still, if everyone said it was door 9, then it probably was.
We've reached the end.
He could feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and he could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny the prospect of escape was an exciting one.
Something's bothering me. Only 3 to 5 people can go through the numbered door. 7 of us are on our way to door 9. That means that, best case scenario, there will be 2 of us who have to stay behind.
Yep, even with the second door, we can't get this.
Is there a way?
Junpei looked over at the clock.
4:30. We've only got 90 minutes left. I've got no time to wonder about it now.
Hey, Junpei! June! What the hell are you two doing? Hurry it up!
Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie.
Let's go, Jumpy.
Let's go. June took off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could. Junpei followed. They were quiet for a while, until... They just reached C deck when Clover spoke.
Hey, what about door 2?
Everyone else stopped. They all turned to look at Clover. Seven
What
spoke.
about door 2?
Door 2 is the only one we haven't gone through it, I mean.
That is true.
Yes, that is true.
Are you guys okay with that? Not investigating it, I mean.
So what? We found door 9. We don't need any of the other doors.
What's the point? Huh? What's the point in going to door 9? We can't all go through it, right?
She's not wrong.
We should do what we have to do before we go any further. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. The best way to finish it quickly is to do the border pieces first. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Or what? You think all 7 of us should go to door 9? And then we argue over who stays behind and who gets to go? Do we really want to do that again?
Yes.
Who knows? If we check out door 2, maybe we'll find something.
She's not
Maybe we can
wrong.
Find a way to get all of us out.
If it's door 2, I'm pretty sure that's the one where... No, never mind. That's the engine room.
Huh.
Right? I don't remember anymore.
I don't know what might be in there. We may not find anything. But don't you think it'd be better to at least have a look?
Mm-hmm, sure.
I mean, am I wrong? Does that sound wrong to you guys?
No, it sounds fine.
Yeah, you do have a point.
The others nodded in
Last
agreement.
time I checked the clock, it was 4:30. It's not like we've got a lot of time, but if we're quick about it, we might have time to take a look.
Yay!
You're right. Let's go take a look at door 2.
We're back in front of the elevator. Nearby was a large
The
hospital room.
elevator can take us down to door 2.
Who shall go then?
Let's see.
Me. I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Then June, 7, and I need to go with her.
Yes.
Hey, why do you get to...
I don't mind. We'd only waste time arguing over it.
Yep.
Jumpy, I'm okay too.
See?
Okay. Bye.
Just go now.
Fine.
All right, let's get going.
Have
I'll
fun.
see you later.
Okay. Be careful.
We climbed to the elevator and Junpei listened to it creak and rattle its way to the bottom deck. Only Junpei, Ace, and Lotus were left. As the elevator rumbled out of sight, Ace spoke up.
Lotus, would you be so kind as to go with me?
Go where?
Go with you. Well, I didn't think people still talked that way outside of the 1950s. Well, I'm a mother. Would that be a problem for you?
That wasn't what I meant to... I was hoping you would come with me.
Seriously, though. I was kidding. So, where was it you wanted to take me?
Where are you going?
There's something I wanted to show you.
Hey man, what the hell? I'm not important enough?
No, you're not.
Well, it's not like that. Once I've shown Lotus, I'll show you.
Really?
Of course.
I want to see it too, Ace. Ace's smile was friendly.
Fine. Do whatever you want.
Thanks, Junpei. Are you coming, Lotus?
Fine.
This is really suspicious. Granted, I know it's suspicious because Ace is a murderer, but even without knowing that, Ace would
Doesn't
still
look
be
like they're going to
suspicious
back
with
anytime
this.
soon. I might as well go and see whatever it is you think is so important.
Thank you. Well then, shall we go?
Ace turned and began to walk. Lotus followed. They disappeared into the hallway and left. I'm all alone now. Time seemed to drag as Junpei waited for the others to return.
They're so slow. And what's keeping Ace and Lotus?
Suddenly, the elevator opened. Hey, everybody's back. A single person stood there.
Clover! I guess you're the first one back.
It was only Clover inside. He didn't see the rest. Clover. She looked at Junpei and slowly, purposely stepped out of the elevator. The door closed behind her.
Where's everybody else? What happened?
She didn't answer. Instead, her eyes swept the room, and then settled on Junpei.
Where are Ace and Lotus?
Oh, Ace said he wanted to show Lotus something, so they went into that hallway.
Junpei explained what had happened.
Oh, then they went over there?
Mm-hmm. Her voice was small and timid.
Yeah, I think so.
He repeated his earlier
So where
questioning.
are June, Santa, and Seven? Why aren't they with you?
You really want to know?
Yes, I do. I do. I'm still worried about you having that axe. There was something wrong with her smile.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Here, let me show you.
Clover pulled something out of her pocket and tossed it onto the floor at Junpei's feet.
Huh?
He looked down. On the floor in front of him were 3 metal rings.
Bracelets. Oh my god. Oh, holy shit.
Junpei collapsed.
No. No way. No way. This has got to be some kind of joke. This can't be real.
Junpei's body felt like rubber. His heart felt like a cold lump in his chest, and his hand shook uncontrollably. Sweat poured down his face. The 3 bracelets sat there on the floor before him. He could see the numbers on their faces.
3, 7,
And
6.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets.
I like how this implies that Clover is apparently really handy with an axe. Because she managed to kill 3 people with it? one of them being Seven. I don't think Seven would have gone down to a single hit from an axe by Clover, unless like, she got him really good. Even then, like, you would think that that would tip off Santa and June to, like, overpower her afterwards, too. An axe is a very cumbersome weapon. We don't know Clover's life before this. Yeah, no, we don't, but still. Axes aren't, like, precision weapons for, killing multiple people. Usually you can kill one person and then you have to, like, lumber and be like, okay, now to get this out of them.
2. More Hartley, which is 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confine of the ship, or detects that Ignora's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
But why?
Junpei's voice was flat and broken. Clover's response was cold.
Revenge for my brother. He was forced into door 3 and murdered. You need at least 3 people to open a door. Who were the 2 that opened that door with him? It could only have been Santa and Seven.
No.
That's why I killed them.
2 plus 3 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3.
Why? Why did you kill June?
Because she tried to protect them. She was in my way. She had to die too.
No. No.
Junpei shook his head, trying desperately to wake himself from what had to be a dream.
No. No.
It couldn't be real. It just couldn't.
Hey, Junpei.
He felt Clover's hand on his shoulder. I trust that face. Her smile was wrong. Horribly wrong. Her face looked like a mask made from stretched human skin. The smile that parted her lips did not extend to her eyes. They were dead and empty. The girl in front of him was no longer the Clover he had known. Perhaps she was not even human.
Let's go.
Her hand reached out towards him.
Let's get out of here. Let's leave this ship.
Wait, what the hell are you talking about? To open a numbered door,
Yes, I know. You need at least 3 people. But as long as we have this...
Once again, Clover reached into her pocket and pulled something out.
That's...
It was another bracelet. Junpei could see a number on the face. 0.
the
0
bracelet.
That bracelet is 6, though!
You've got something in your pocket. What is it?
Oh, this? This is... See? You get it now?
Mm-hmm.
If we have the 0 bracelet, we can leave.
Yes.
You and I can open door 9 with just the 2 of us.
No, we cannot.
See? So let's go. Come on. Hurry up.
She shoved her hand out again. Junpei looked up at Clover. She had the face of a demon. But there was something else. There was a holy light that surrounded her. She was both a fierce god and a benevolent goddess, filled with love.
Junpei.
I don't know if she's filled with love. Her voice was soft. Her eyes weren't empty anymore. They were deep, so deep, Junpei could feel himself falling into them. He felt dizzy. There was something oddly bewitching about her. His mind was beginning to crack, and his heart began to melt.
Junpei.
The hand she was offering him. It looked so soft, so inviting.
Clover.
Junpei reached out with his own trembling hand and closed it over hers.
Yeah?
Those were some description, yep. Junpei writhed in agony. He shuddered and twitched, his body spasming as he went into shock. He screamed until his throat was torn and bloody, and then screamed some more. He does that a lot. His cries echoed across the room. Eventually, his movement slowed, and then faded. There was no more strength left in Junpei. Could feel his body begin to go numb. He no longer felt pain. He no longer felt anything. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. The last remnants of his mind began to fade. Even as his vision slowly faded to nothingness, he saw Clover.
Thanks, Junpei. I'm just gonna borrow this.
Junpei, Junpei, I need a hand. Not like that. Her smile was cold. What was left of Junpei's consciousness drifted away. All that was left was a twisted, broken corpse. Do you want to know the sad part? We don't get to see Clover fighting, we don't get to see the duel between Clover and Ace. And whatever happened to Lotus. Because it ends here with Junpei's life. Let me ask you a question, thank you. Yeah, let's save. Okay, so we got a... Clover vs. would have been very cool to see. Yeah, I also want to know what actually happened to Lotus. Okay. So we need to go this pathway next. Go here. And then I guess we get Silverlock here. That will unlock this ending. So we'll be doing... I will get that set up during the break so that... I will get it set up because I'm pretty sure in order to do this we need to like go here, like advance far enough to get to this door, then transfer to here, go far enough to get to this door, etc. So that'll be what's happening during the break. You might hear some of the sounds from the game because I can't really change that. But otherwise, we are going to switch over to break time. Let me get us a song. I believe this is an Insanity song from Somnium Pause. Ah, come on. Yeah, in the meantime, you can get a drink or snack, use the restroom, stretch, release any tension in your body, or I guess I won't be doing sit-ups because I need to set up the timeline properly. But you can do sit-ups. You can do the sit-ups for me. Or is it this one? That's Insanity. Yeah, it's close enough to Insanity. Anyway, I'll be back in just a bit.
Damn.
I think...
It's open.
Look! The door on the left! I can see the dead!
Okay, hope everybody enjoyed that break. Sorry if you heard random noises from the thing, from the game. I'm gonna see if doing this will just put me on the pathway.
All right, let's go.
Let's see. Oh, huh. Maybe I do actually have to. Do I have to actually do the things in the escape room for that?
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do. Let's let this go a little bit further then.
What the hell are you doing, Junpei?
This door's the only option we've got, right?
Okay, let's... Yeah, I don't know what made me miss out on some of those bits, though. On some of those keys, though. I'll skip through this just to see what it was. Seek a way out. I don't think... What, do I have to do the puzzle again? Let's check this, if those are still blocked off. Okay, I guess I have to... I guess there's something in the puzzle that I need to do. I guess there's something I need to find out from here. Dolls are really creepy. This thing is really creepy. I wonder what's on the bed. White cloth. Use it for surgery. We can get some scissors. Oh, come on, come on. Thank you. Maybe it's heater, there's nothing inside. Get that. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. They all look like medicine, got big labels. Need the knife. Got an organ key. Cool, it's unlocked. Okay, we need the chemicals. New material's been added to the file screen. Can I do anything in there? No, I cannot yet. So I need to head over to here. The chemical room. I'll get me these. CO2. CO2, ammonia, and ethanol. Oh, wait. I don't remember what CO... 3, 4... Is it 7? Three, 4, 8. 3, 4, 9. There we go. Brute force algorithm.
You think we should go back?
Okay, we can skip this.
I remember a story about EDT.
Like the molecules were communicating with one another,
Yes.
transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive. This phenomena spread throughout the world, right?
Junpei looked up at Seven with half a smirk. Seven stared at him, dumbfounded.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Okay, this is what we needed.
But how did you know?
I heard another story, kind of like that one.
It was about glycerin.
In the freezer?
What? The freezer?
Yeah, June told me.
And Seven, the story he had heard from June in the freezer in the kitchen. How one day glycerin began to crystallize, and the story that ice wouldn't melt at room temperature. When Junpei was done, Seven looked thoughtful and absentmindedly rubbed the scar on his chin.
Ice that doesn't melt at room temperature, huh?
That sounds familiar?
Yeah, hold up. I feel like I can remember something. It's right there.
Seven squinted. His eyes stared off into space as if he were trying desperately to focus on something far away. Know something about Ice 9?
Ice 9?
Ice 9? Ice 9. Ice 9. Ice.
Baby? Suddenly, Seven's eyes shot open.
That's it. I remember now. That woman, she's on this boat.
That woman?
Lotus?
Alice!
Oh.
Who's Alice?
Come on. The woman who won't melt at room temperature.
Huh?
I don't know who you're talking about. Became clear to Seven that Junpei had no idea what he was talking about. He ran his hand across his face and took a deep breath.
You know how the Titanic sank on April 15th, 1912, right?
Yes.
Yeah, more than 1,500 people died. Worst maritime accident in history. What about it?
Did you hear about the boat that was sent to collect the dead bodies?
I think that was the RMS Carpathia, right? It was a cruise liner, just like the Titanic.
No, that was the ship that picked up the survivors.
Oh.
The ship that collected the dead bodies was the CS McKay Bennett. The McKay Bennett showed up on April 17th, 2 days after the accident. It set out from Halifax, a port in Canada, and recovered 306 bodies. The Atlantic that far north was really cold. It would have to be for there to be icebergs and stuff. Anyway, the bodies they pulled out of the water were frozen solid.
This isn't a very nice story.
No, it isn't.
So, what happened next?
Well, they say the McKay Bennett recovered something more than just dead bodies. There were various bits of stuff floating around in the water. Things the drowned had carried with them, or stuff that dislodged as the ship sank. One of the things they found was a coffin.
A coffin?
Okay.
Yeah, a wooden one. The craftsman who made it must have been pretty skilled.
I'm sorry, that's just making me think of the line in Avatar, just like, what kind of a cell is this? A wooden one.
It wasn't just a wooden coffin. It was all wood, no nails, no reinforcements, no gaps in the wood anywhere.
Wow.
The thing was airtight.
That's pretty
I
good.
got pretty curious about what might be inside it and opened it up.
That's a pretty good coffin if they managed to get it airtight with only wood.
They had to get a wedge and hammer it open. It was so well made. Inside, they found a woman. Or,
Okay.
I guess you should say they found the dead body of a woman. Her hair was thick and black, and her skin rich brown with no blemishes or signs of decomposition.
Okay.
They say that she looked gorgeous, like a goddess. She was obviously dead, but everyone who looked at her said she just looked like she was sleeping. Her skin was so lifelike, she looked like she might wake up any minute. She didn't, though.
She was still
The rest
dead.
of the bodies they found, she was frozen solid. Eventually, the McKay Bennett finished searching and returned to Halifax. The 306 bodies were unloaded and taken ashore. However, it was warm enough that they began to thaw. They say that the stink was horrible.
Yeah.
There was one body that didn't thaw, and that was...
The girl in the coffin.
That's right. Everybody thought for sure that she'd melt and start to rot like the rest of them eventually. But weeks passed and nothing happened.
Oh no.
And a month passed, and another. And it was summer, and she was still frozen solid. After a while, people started to say she was some sort of miracle.
A dead
Rumors about her
miracle.
started to spread. People came to visit Halifax from all over. After a while, people started to call her All Ice. Alice.
What a
Of
dumb
course, those
name.
rumors didn't last long.
Why?
Well, she up and disappeared. One day Alice was there, the next day she wasn't. They say someone snuck into where they were keeping her and stole the body.
That would make
With
sense.
the body gone, the rumors followed pretty quickly. And after a while, no one remembered her. You might be able to find something about her if you could find a newspaper from back then, but that's about it.
Wait, you just said that she was on this boat.
Yeah, I did. Alice has got to be somewhere on this ship,
What makes you think that?
Now, why the hell would you say something like that?
because I know.
I just
Just
know.
what is it you know?
What happened to Alice after she was stolen?
Oh. Is that the guy who, like, did Gourdane buy her?
Right? Tell me, what happened to Alice?
Nodded slowly and looked at... and took on the look of a man recalling something long buried.
Well, around that time, the word was that there was a special black market in New York. All millionaires from all over the world. I've heard
They
that
sold a
Alice went
dead
up for
body.
auction there. The person who won the auction was Lord Dashiell Gourdane.
Of course it was.
You've heard that name before, right?
Lord Gourdane. Oh, isn't he the guy who bought the Gigantic? The Titanic's sister ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's him. Although I guess he hadn't done that yet.
So I did actually check on this. Apparently the Gigantic was never actually going to be the name of the Bryantic, the actual hospital ship. But the Gigantic was just a rumor at one point caused by, like, one that's only ever said in, like, one part ordering for the boat.
What do you mean?
Gourdane bought Alice in 1912, and 4 years later, in 1916, he bought the Gigantic, and he hid Alice somewhere on the Gigantic.
Also, I don't think anybody actually bought the Gigantic
But nobody knows where.
or the Bryantic.
He died in 1931, and apparently he died without ever telling anyone where Alice was hidden.
However, what?
Well, he
Britannic,
did have
or
one
maybe
close
it
friend
was
who
that.
asked
I
him,
don't remember.
"Where is Alice?" And he said, "Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge beneath the navel of the Gigantic."
So in the library?
What the hell is that? Is it some kind of riddle?
Your guess is as good as mine.
And threw his hands up in
So
defeat.
that's it. Whatever you think, I believe it. She's hidden somewhere on the Gigantic. In other words, she's hidden somewhere on this ship.
Poor Junpei could dispute Seven's rather bizarre claim. As Junpei was trying to figure out what on earth he was going to say next, Clover's shrill voice pierced the room.
Hey, what are you two doing over there?
Okay,
Stop wasting time and get over here.
But I like wasting time.
Okay, we're coming.
Jeez.
Seven looked at
Yeah,
Junpei.
so anyway, that's the story. It might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
Don't forget that story, Junpei. It'll be really important.
Alice. Huh.
Maybe Alice is Zero. To ponder what he just heard, he tried to remember what June had told him earlier.
That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. They say that she was frozen. The story says
I was
that from the
frozen
time of
today.
its discovery all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic. Even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted.
Then was that Egyptian priestess Alice?
Yes.
Did the water in her body become Ice 9? No, that's nuts. There's no way somebody like that could exist.
Junpei shook his head, trying desperately to clear it, and followed 7 to the operating room where Clover was waiting. Okay. Head back here. I don't know for sure if, let's do this. Hey, it turned red. Yeah, what, did you hear that just now? On the blue liquid neck, put the red liquid back in the bottle. Blue light turned on. Hey, I heard a noise, sounded like something unlocking. And do the red liquid together. I get it. You can buy them to make purple. And we can open all of them. Oop, burp, burp, burp. Got a thing for feet 7? No, that's crazy. You're sure acting kind of shady. Okay, then. And I believe we have all of the parts. Bed doesn't look very comfortable. On device says kilograms. Look like 6 parts. You mean Lucy? That's her name, I think. See, it says Lucy right here. Yeah, right. It doesn't look like John is missing any of his parts. Must be for Lucy. Seems like it. I say we give Lucy her parts back. Any objections? Any objections, lady? Agreed. Alright, let's get started. Combine! And it didn't work. Hey, nothing happened. That's odd. Maybe that's the wrong weight. Weight? Yeah, well, you know the scale on the side of the bed. Maybe. Maybe we need to get the scales to a specific number. How are we gonna do that? We're supposed to swap her body parts with John? Oh. Let's give it a shot. Yep. I think those separated. Yep, there it is. Hey, Junpei, just heard something. Came from John's operating table. Better check it out. It's the lid on the scale. Hey, it opened! Oh, I get it. It must have been because we matched John's weight. Yep. Now the Jupiter key. Badoop. Badoop. No, that's the, way. There.
Hey, hold on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we can't skip. My brother might be dead. What do you want to do? Here, you want a 4-leaf clover? Didn't know why, but suddenly, Junpei remembered something he'd been given earlier.
It's in my pocket somewhere. Here it is.
He reached into his pocket and dug it out.
A 4-leaf clover.
Santa had given it to him in the second classroom. He held it up to Clover.
Hey, did you know? Each leaf means something. Hope, faith, love, and luck.
No.
That's what a 4-leaf clover stands for. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm.
Press the 4-leaf clover into her hand.
Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck. Snake, I mean, your brother, he's not dead.
He's not dead. We know he's not dead.
He's alive, somewhere. I'm sure of it. You've just gotta believe in that.
Clover stared at the four-leaf clover in her hand. You could see tears starting to form at the corners of her eyes.
Thank you.
Her voice was tiny and broken, and as she spoke, she started to cry. She tried to hide her tears by looking at the floor, but it did little good. She wiped away tears in the baggy arms of her jacket, a little more quickly, and more quickly took their place. No matter how she tried, she couldn't stop crying. Tears made small wet circles on the floor.
Thank you.
She said it again. She looked at Junpei and seemed to choke down the last of her grief. She did her best to smile. Junpei wiped an errant tear from her cheek with his thumb and gave her the best smile he could manage.
Come on. Seven's waiting for us at the exit.
Oh. But still, she didn't move.
Wait, before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
What do you think when you hear the word experiment?
I think of Stitch. For a moment, his mind froze. Experiment 626. Then he came back to his senses and realized the word meant nothing to him, aside from the dictionary definition.
What?
Oh. I guess it was just a coincidence then. I mean, that you knew about the four-leaf clover.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a jerk, but you are making less than no sense right now.
Don't you know what experiments mean and related to four-leaf clovers?
Oh, no. It's nothing. Just forget about it.
Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about?
Is he blue? Does he live in Hawaii? Clover looked away. The four-leaf clover was still in her hand. She stared at it for a long moment and then finally spoke.
You promise you won't tell anyone?
No.
Cross my heart.
Really?
I'll cross John's heart too.
Really?
I can trust you, right?
I mean, you've already murdered me, so I should be the one asking if I can trust you.
Of course you can.
Clover slipped the four-leaf clover into her pocket. Her eyes were still red from crying. She looked up at Junpei.
Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on this ship 9 years ago.
Wait, what?
Wait. On this ship?
Oh, I'm guessing, did Snake tell her?
Yeah, this ship.
He was entirely lost. He had 1,000 questions, but it was probably best, as he thought, to save them until Clover had
It was an
finished.
experiment to test some sort of psychic thing. Communicating through these fields that you can't see.
Morphogenetic fields.
Fields that you can't see?
Morphogenetic fields.
Something like this before. Clover nodded.
Like, think about this.
She pointed at the operating table. On top of it was a somewhat mismatched medical mannequin, whose parts had been swapped with another mannequin.
This is John, right?
Hi, John.
But is he really John?
Maybe.
Huh?
All Junpei could think was she had finally completely lost it.
Isn't this like Locke's socks? Or the ship of Theseus?
Mm-hmm. Junpei grew even more confused. He never heard of either of those things, although they sounded smart.
You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes?
No?
I've heard of a pair of ducks. Junpei shook his head.
Really?
Clover laughed.
Okay, well pay attention then. This is how Locke's socks works.
Welcome to Professor Clover's School of Paradoxes.
Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks.
Mm-hmm. Why do you have why would anybody have favorite socks?
One of them gets a hole in it. What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei?
Replace it. Throw it away.
Well, I'd pitch it, I guess.
But it's your favorite pair of socks.
Honestly, usually I keep wearing socks if they have a hole in it until they actually no longer work as socks.
Come on, who loves their socks that much?
It doesn't matter. Just suppose you do love them that much.
Well, I guess then I'd patch it.
But what if another hole opens?
Shadow explained the whole concept before the game does. Yeah, I remember that.
I'd add another patch, I suppose.
What if another hole opened after that?
Another patch, I guess?
Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches.
Mm-hmm.
Until eventually, the original cloth of the sock is totally gone. Once you get to that point...
Once you get to that point, then why did you even bother patching them?
Can you really say they're the same socks you started with?
What? I mean, here's the question. Why were they your favorite pair of socks? Was it because of... If it was because of the design or the pattern, then that was lost the moment you added the patch. The first patch.
Well, that's tough.
Junpei crossed his arms.
So, that's the locked socks thing?
Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a lot like it. The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of
Doesn't
a
matter
ship,
the reason they were just your favorite.
eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with.
I'm pretty sure that is actually impossible, because there are parts of a ship that are too integral to the ship itself that that removing it would actually just destroy the ship. Like, I'm pretty sure there are parts of the ship that you literally cannot replace without just actually making a new boat.
Can you really say that ship is the same one you started with?
If those parts that you literally cannot change are the same, then probably.
And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship and built another one somewhere else?
Then why did you need to replace the parts? If those parts were still working, if those parts still worked fine enough to build an entirely new ship, why'd you need to replace them in the first place?
Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus?
It depends. How much of the journey did Theseus travel with in one part of it?
The one you repaired, or the one you built with all the original parts?
I assume you still needed new parts, though, if the original parts were damaged. It was an interesting question. Clover could see Junpei was intrigued.
Hey, do you think it's the same?
That's my thought with the entire Ship of Theseus thing, is just like, you can't actually replace everything on the ship. Because if you tried to remove certain parts of the ship, it would actually destroy everything.
What's the same?
Like, it's not so much as like, oh yeah, you can just replace all of this damage. No, that's not how repairing wooden ships works.
These guys. Is this John, or is it Lucy now?
I looked at the operating table. I mean, the heart and head are still the same. Mannequin full of body parts from a different body. Clover had been right, just like Lock, Sock in the Ship of Theseus. Part of the body that held a person's identity is the head. Of course, for many hundreds of years, conventional wisdom had held that a man's identity resided in his heart, or any number of internal organs. Here they had both.
John's head and heart are both his. But apart from those, and a single arm, the rest of his body was once Lucy's.
So the arm is actually John's. Is that mannequin really John?
We're just like these mannequins.
Clover, you've already chopped off my hand once this stream. Please don't do it again.
Think about it. The cells in our body change every day. Old ones die, and new ones are born.
Yeah, not all of them.
Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once. Or maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate. If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're all connected.
Yet there's still parts of the human body that do not change over your life. Like, you get more of them, but there are still quite a few cells that literally live your entire life.
Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye.
Lens was broken by 7.
Hey, what the hell is taking you two so long?
We're discussing Paradox. 7's head appeared on the doorway. He was not happy.
How long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around.
Yes, we do. Seven, why were we allowed to screw around when talking about Alice, but not when we're talking about the ship of Theseus? Junpei and Clover looked at each other. Clover looked at Junpei as if there was more she wanted to tell him. She shook her head. Whatever she had to tell him, she did not want to tell him in front of Seven. Seven seemed to catch on.
What were you two doing? Was this some sort of secret meeting?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. We were just
Just
playing with the mannequins.
Clover, that sounds wrong.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei.
Moving a little bit too fast to be entirely innocent, Clover headed towards the exit. Seven stared after her, then turned to Junpei with an amused expression.
Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
Clover, no! Clover, no! You gave him the wrong idea!
You're a dick.
Junpei dashed past him and traced Clover's path out the door. With a short laugh, Seven followed. They stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key. Can I skip now? No, I cannot.
Alright, I'm gonna open it now.
You don't need to keep asking, just do it.
Okay, now we can skip.
Like hell I can.
If I had to get... Okay, it looks like I have the 2 keys now, so I can head to here. Alright, let's head to the chart room. We get to do this puzzle again! Yay! Seek a way out. Okay, so... let's put this onto here. Nautical chart picked earlier, maybe it matches the pins, let's see. And we got the stuff on there. Let's get our pocket watch. And Ace is like, not a problem.
Well, not a problem, but... That's a lie. I wanted to get rid of Ace. I sent him to the wheelhouse at the beginning for a reason. I wanted to talk to Clover alone. There's something I want to ask her, and I don't want anyone to overhear us.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Clover won't talk if there's anyone else around. I'm a little desperate to send him back. Quick. He has to leave.
Ace opened his mouth, then took another look at Junpei and shut it again. A small smirk appeared on his face. I apologize for interrupting your alone time with Clover. Don't worry. I won't tell June. May let out a sigh and brushed a few drops of sweat from his forehead. He turned and found himself looking straight into Clover's eyes. Those deep blue eyes. Heard what Ace had said. She regarded Junpei with caution.
What was that about?
She was clearly suspicious, and with good reason.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I want to talk to you. His eyes were wide, and he held up his hands in a gesture of innocence.
No, it's not like that.
What's it like then?
I want to know more about Theseus.
I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. I didn't get a chance to ask you about it until now.
What story?
About the experiment, remember? The one you started to tell me in the operating room? You said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago.
Clover bit her lip. She stared down at the floor for several long moments, and then when she spoke, it was barely
I'm sorry,
audible.
But I don't want to talk about that right now.
Oh.
I'm just not in the mood, okay?
Okay.
You understand, right?
Yes, I do.
I keep thinking about my brother. I can't stop. I mean, who would do something like that? I can't forgive them. I'm not gonna let them get away with it. They're gonna pay for it. I'm so...
Her shoulders were shaking. Drops of blood had sprung up from her lips as she was biting them. She wiped it off and looked at Junpei, her eyes fierce and angry.
Who do you think did it?
Her voice was cold and scarcely above a whisper. Junpei gulped.
Well, if what Seven said was right, then there would have to be at least 2 of them.
It was Ace.
You need at least 3 people to open the numbered doors, and if you subtract Snake, that means there were at least 2 other people.
Nope, there was only 1.
You're right. So, what does that mean?
Well, if we just look at the bracelet numbers, we should be able to figure it out. Who could have opened door 3 with Snake? Well, really, who and who, or who, and who?
Or who, and who.
You mean it could have been 4 people?
I don't think... maybe?
Well, technically, it's possible.
I don't know. That doesn't seem very likely.
No.
Why?
I'll tell you later. Why don't we just assume
I think
it
she
was only
already
2
did the
other
math.
people
She's
there?
already done the math.
Okay, got it. Let's do that then.
Then who do you think it could be?
He may cross his arms in thought. Snake's bracelet number was 2. With 2 bracelet numbers added to 2 would give a digital root of 3. Any combination that equals 10. Ace and Santa? No. Or wait. No, Ace and Santa doesn't work, that's 4. Ace and June? Couldn't be. Santa in June, that's only 9. I mean, we already know it's Santa in 7, that she's gunning for. Is there any other combination that works? June and Lotus.
Would it be Santa and 7? The digital root for Snake, Santa, and 7 is 3. Wait, hold on. Are Santa and 7?
Are they the killers?
What's wrong?
Clover looked at Junpei and he looked back at her. There was no point
Well,
hiding it.
I thought about it, and...
Told her his conclusions.
That's what I thought.
She looked less surprised than he had expected.
Santa and 7. If it was 2 people, then that's the only combination that works.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, wait a minute there. Don't you think it's a little too early to be jumping to conclusions? Well, all I said is that those 2 would have been able to open door 3 with your brother. There might be other possibilities.
Well, what other possibilities?
Ace stole the number 9 bracelet.
What do you mean I'm not allowed to say that? Why can't I bring up the actual answer to this question? What do you mean timelines don't work that way?
He didn't have an answer. He was ready to admit defeat when Clover spoke.
Are you saying you think that it was 3 or 4 people? I really don't think that's likely.
No,
Why
it's not.
Can I borrow your pen and paper?
Clover put her hand out expectantly.
Yeah, here.
He pulled out his pen, pad of paper, and huddled around him. She opened the notebook and wrote down several simple addition problems. Eventually, she had 8, which provided a digital root of 3. 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6 is 12. Yep, literally all of these ones that are literally also on the screen. This honestly makes it even more annoying to read than if it just didn't include the actual
What's
things.
this?
These are the combinations for 3 or 4 people. These 8 combinations are the only possible ones.
Oh, I see.
Junpei,
Yeah?
I can trust you, right?
Yes.
Of course. Why would you need to ask that?
Really?
Yeah.
So then I should get rid of B, D, G, and H, right?
Sure.
Of course. Just cross them out.
Yes, please cross them out. I don't want to be suspected of murder anymore, Clover. You've already chopped off my hand once. Please don't do it again.
And you should take off yours too. The ones with 4.
Clover, did you kill your brother?
So, what does that leave?
A and E.
2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6 is 12, and then 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 7 plus 8.
Wait, it can't be A.
Why?
Because June's in it.
Because June's in that one. There's no way in hell she'd do something like that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'd bet my life on it.
Okay then. I can cross off A too, right?
Yeah.
Well, what have we got left?
E.
Literally everybody else.
Do you know what what this means?
Everybody is the murderer.
Everyone besides me, you, and June would be working together.
Do you think that's likely?
No.
If there were 4 people working together, they wouldn't be very cautious. I don't think they'd try that hard to hide what they were doing if they outnumbered us, right?
Well, you do have a point.
And besides, if Ace and Seven are working together, they could have easily gotten rid of me when I went to the shower room with them. But they didn't. They didn't even try anything. If they were killers, why wouldn't they?
Her voice was calm, but Junpei had to only look at her in the eye to know it was a forced calm. Everyone just decided, nah, get rid of Snake in particular. Perhaps by attempting an objective analysis of who might have killed her brother, she had been able to distance herself from the harsh reality of his death. The more she struggled to act unconcerned, the more Junpei felt his heart tighten.
I see. Anyway, I understand now. It seems pretty unlikely that it was as many as 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Then that means there's a good chance it was Santa and Seven.
I mean, technically, but there is
That's
a
how
zero.
it looks.
Well, there's a 0%
Why would
chance,
they do
actually.
it?
There was a moment of silence.
Motive.
He laid his hand gently on her shoulder. He was close, so close to the answer. Hey, the ace! The answer! The answer just came in. When Ace chose the worst possible moment to return, he raised a knowing eyebrow and then spoke.
Have I interrupted something?
Yes.
What is it?
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
Turned on his heels and walked back toward the wheelhouse.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Bye, Clover. I'll miss you. You'd be willing to talk to him again after and followed Ace.
What did you want to talk about?
Ace looked at Junpei and smiled. Perhaps more of a smirk than a
There
smile.
was something I wanted to check.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
If you'll excuse me.
Digging in his pocket. Okay.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
I'm just checking.
No, stop.
Reached for Ace's arm, but it was already too late. Can't skip yet. Piece of paper,
Just
balled
what
up.
I thought. What exactly are these pieces of paper hiding in your pocket?
Us accusing literally everyone of murder.
You switched them, didn't you, when we voted?
Oh, those papers. Oh, yeah, that happened.
Well, I can't say that I care. I managed to get through the numbered door I wanted, despite your mischief.
Then, why did you...
Oh, simple curiosity. I hope you won't think ill of me for it.
No, like I said, I think ill of you for plenty of other reasons. Ace smiled, gave Junpei friendly, turned on his heel and left. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei lost the upper hand. His stomach began to tense. Okay. Let me check. There's only one key in there, so I can actually go to here, I believe. I'm pretty sure we just need to have that conversation with Clover. There's blood on the chair. Do you think this was dead guys? Yeah, probably. Okay. A bed! There's nothing in it. Yeah. 4 rows of letters and numbers. Hold on, I'm curious. Will this work? Oh, wait, no, I need the key. No. Weird buttons, let you see the screen. Why don't we press these like this? 0. You're right, so what does the camera see is whenever it means something.
Huh.
Yeah, comedy.
Well, even if he wasn't one of us, there's no way that man could be Zero.
How?
Huh?
Don't you get it? The letters that spell 0 on the TV screen, the captain's clothes he's got on, and of course, the bracelet with a 0 on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too obvious. Look, this is 0 right here. This dead body is 0. Isn't that kind of fishy?
Yeah,
You're
fair
right.
enough.
Only an idiot wouldn't see through something like that.
No, that's not the point. I'm not trying to make fun of them for thinking a trick like this would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work, which makes me wonder.
Why did they
I
do
think
it?
this is a challenge. A challenge from the person who's really behind all of this. He's making fun of us. Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was 0, they'd never have put a bracelet on him.
Mm-hmm.
Walking around with a 0 bracelet would be like hanging a sign around your neck that said, "I did it!" Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy is supposed to look like everything 0 is supposed to be. Just like we did.
Mm-hmm.
The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was 0 and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why?
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 Like I said, he's mocking us. Too bad, suckers, this isn't 0. Where's the real me then? See if you can catch me.
Catch me if you can, losers!
It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They'll just sit back and watch people run in circles.
That's really twisted. But it almost seems kind of childish.
Clover, you're the most childish one here. Are you 0?
Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like it's just a game to whoever this person is. That's what seems funny to me.
What, that this nonary game is acting like a game? Who would have possibly guessed? Junpei bent down next to the corpse.
Alright, let's get back to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Who killed this man?
I don't know.
It was me, Austin. It was me all
What's this guy's
along.
deal? Who is he?
How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you.
You have no idea who he is.
Why would I?
Junpei sat back on his hunches and
We
thought.
should check and see if he's got anything on him that might tell us who he is. Give me a hand here, Clover.
Huh?
Let's examine this
We
body.
gotta flip him over. How else are we gonna search his pockets?
Clover didn't move.
Okay, fine. Guess I'll do it.
Junpei had no choice but to move the body on his own.
Here we go.
He grabbed hold of an area not completely covered in blood and shoved. He still got a ton of blood on him. Took a moment, but eventually Junpei felt the man's bulk begin to shift. Just as it did,
Huh?
something fell from the man's left wrist.
Hey, it's the...
A bracelet with 0 on the face.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so.
Mm-hmm.
1. You escape from this ship. 2. More likely, which is 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confine of the ship, or the paraxatic mirror's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
Okay.
Oh god.
Junpei stared at the bracelet.
This man... He's dead, isn't he?
Took you that long to figure it out, Junpei, huh?
No, it's just... I guess I didn't really think about it until right now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's pretty obvious that he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure out that he's dead.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious. Well, he looks a lot better than the other bodies we've seen, though. You know?
Junpei, one of those other bodies is her brother?
I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look like he was still alive.
Okay, we know it's Guy X. Junpei doesn't. Clover certainly doesn't. Keep talking about...
I know it's kind of a messed up thing to say, but he kinda has it better, you know? Dying from a bomb going off inside of you? I mean, that's just... Some of Snake's bones went right through his skin. I think the explosion must have thrown him against a wall or something.
Man, let's talk about how mutilated Snake looked, Clover. Can you remember how your brother was completely eviscerated?
There was a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm.
I know that it was supposed to lead to this. This one stupid line. This was all leading to this, but this makes Junpei look really, really stupid.
And,
Suddenly, Junpei realized what he was saying. Took you that long. How could he have been so cruel? He clapped his hands over his mouth. But it was already too late. He turned to look at Clover. She was glaring at him furiously.
What did you just say?
Did you say about my dead brother? Her words sounded cold. He knew an apology could hardly atone for what he'd done, but he tried anyway.
Man, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really don't know what I was thinking. I mean...
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm?
No, I'm fine with you talking about how mutilated my brother's body was, but you mentioned his arm?
Arm?
Yes, his left arm. You said it, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did, but... I mean, didn't you see it too?
Of course not. I could barely look at him. There's no way I was gonna see the details.
Clover took a quick, deep breath.
Are you sure it was his left arm?
Junpei thought back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
And he had a broken bone, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell are you getting at here?
Just shut up and answer me!
She shoved her face closer to his. He could see the fire in her eyes. Junpei winced and swallowed.
Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad, too. The bone was sticking out of the arm.
No sooner were the words out of his mouth than Clover's expression changed.
Clover? What's wrong? Look, I'm sorry if I said anything.
Suddenly she was crying. Junpei wasn't sure what to do.
Thank you.
It was close to the last thing he had expected to hear. Thank you for talking about my brother's body.
What are you...
Junpei had no idea what had just happened. He didn't think he'd done anything worthy of thanks, but he couldn't understand why she would choose that moment to begin crying. So he simply stood there confused.
Thank you so much, Junpei.
She thanked him again, and then something even stranger happened. Aww. Clover threw herself into Junpei's surprised arms.
Hey, what's going on with you?
I'm sorry, it's just... I'm so happy!
I'm so happy!
Why?
The body in the shower room, it isn't his! It isn't my brother!
I'm so happy a person is dead!
Huh?
I've never been so happy for someone to be dead.
It's not Snake!
Why on earth would you think that?
Because his left arm is...
She stopped herself.
I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be talking about this.
Junpei decided prudent not to press her for any more information. If she did not wish to tell him, she certainly had a reason for doing so. Perhaps more importantly, however, if Clover was so certain, then she was likely right. That meant that the body in the shower room wasn't Snake. Wasn't much, but that knowledge lifted some of his weight from Junpei's heart.
He's still alive.
Aww.
I'm so happy.
Tears shone in her eyes. These tears melted Junpei's heart. As she cried, she pushed herself up against his chest like a child. Junpei put his arms around her and held her tight.
I'm so glad.
Huh?
Junpei, you were right.
Huh?
No matter what happens, you can never lose hope.
No.
You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck.
The luck that brought her brother back to life. He reached into her pocket and pulled something out.
That's...
It was a laminated bookmark with a 4-leaf clover.
I only made it here because you gave me this. I was suspicious of everybody. I was angry and miserable. But because I had this 4-leaf clover...
I didn't decide to go on an axe-murdering rampage.
Because of what you said to me.
Yeah.
Junpei hadn't thought his words would have had such an effect on her. Her words were making him feel a little awkward.
Thank you so much, Junpei.
She looked up at him. He scratched his nose and pretended to notice something interesting somewhere else in the room.
Oh, if you really want to thank somebody, you should be thanking Santa.
Santa?
Santa Claus!
Well, he was the one who gave me that thing. And the words for each leaf, I got that from him too.
Oh.
Oh.
Then suddenly, Clover broke away from Junpei.
Huh?
He looked confused. He hadn't thought she'd react that poorly. Clover began to pace around the room. Six steps to the left, 6 steps to the right, another 6 to the left. Crisscross! Everybody clap your hands. And then she stopped.
Did Santa really tell you those things?
Yes. Her eyes were serious, but not angry.
Yeah, he did. Did I say something wrong?
Oh no, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news, I think.
Ooh.
You think?
Santa knew about the words and the clover. The only people who should know about that are the other subjects.
Subjects?
The other people who were in the experiment 9
The
years
other
ago.
people under my
Better.
kingdom.
Uh-huh.
But he's blind.
Getting flashbacks to my cousin's wedding. Oh, we always do that at my family's weddings.
And I was part of the Nevada test group. So neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who were on this boat.
Whoa. Okay, time out.
Junpei held up his hands. He took a deep breath and let it
Let's
out.
just calm down for a second, okay?
I was part of the group in Nevada.
Start from the top. Don't start with the end and then jump to the middle. You gotta start with 1 and then move to 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. If you don't tell me stuff in the right order, I'm never gonna be able to figure it out.
My bracelet number is 5. You have to tell a lot of other people before you tell me.
Okay.
Clover nodded.
Let's start with this experiment. What happened on this boat 9 years ago?
Do you know about morphogenetic fields?
I love the idea that everybody on this boat knows about morphogenetic fields, and Junpei has only ever heard about it here. Suddenly just like, do you know about morphogenetic fields? I'm slowly becoming an expert on them, yes.
Morphogenetic fields.
He did, and the realization sent chills down Junpei's spine.
Alright, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
I think Lotus mentioned something like that.
Junpei recounted what Lotus had told him earlier. Clover nodded.
Telepathy, huh? Well, that's not really it, but I suppose it's similar.
So they were testing telepathy on this ship?
Cut to the credits, we're done here. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. We already got to morphogenetic fields. There's nothing else that we can actually do. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, what exactly did they have you guys do?
The same thing that we're doing now. Exactly the same thing.
Wait a second, you also were in a killing game, Clover?
What?
Maybe that's how she became so good at axes. She murdered all of the children in her group. She took the axe and murdered all of the other children.
The nonary game. 9 people were put on this boat, and 9 others were put in the building in Nevada, and the game started.
Junpei grabbed the sides of his head.
I'm sorry, but I don't get it.
Congratulations to the winner of the 74th Hunger Games, Clover!
What do the nonary game and some telepathy experiment have to do with each other? Am I missing something here?
Clover bit her lip. She blinked back sudden tears. What had happened to her in Nevada?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
Oh.
You know how sometimes when you're up against a really tough problem, and then the answer just kind of pops in your head?
Sure.
That's an epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
And what you learn from the epiphany can be transmitted with telepathy.
I've never experienced that part, but I have experienced epiphanies.
When you add danger to that equation, then it gets easier to transmit that information over telepathy.
Okay.
So you're saying the Nonary game was supposed to introduce that element of danger?
Yeah, but it couldn't be just any old danger.
Had to be life or death
It
danger.
had to be life and death.
Oh, that was actually the thing.
And someone did actually die. A girl.
Oh no. With a sudden grip of despair in his heart. Something deep and distant and powerful squeezed, and for a moment he felt very empty and alone.
She was on the boat with my brother. I was in Nevada. I never met her, but I did hear her name. Her name was...
The name, give me the wretched name. Barty Crouch! Junior! The sound of the door opening was like gunshot. Junpei spun around.
Oh, my apologies. I seem to have disturbed you.
Yes, you did.
Ace.
You two must have strong stomachs. I can't imagine how you could stay in this room for so long.
Ace glanced down at the floor. At the corpse covered in blood.
At any rate, Junpei, would you be so kind as to come and help me with something? I'm having a little trouble, and I could really use your assistance.
Okay.
Come on. It'll only take a moment.
Sure. With that, he turned and walked back towards the communications office. Clover waited until he was out of sight and spoke in a small, quiet voice.
I don't want Ace to hear us. We can talk about this later.
Okay.
Huh? Hey, wait!
Clover ignored him. From outside, Junpei could hear Ace calling.
Junpei? What are you doing in there? Hurry up!
Grumbling to himself, Junpei stomped off towards the communications office. Okay. Need this. Hey, what's this? Blank, nothing written on it. Let me check real quick. Okay, there is another key here that I need to see. Ink. All screwdrivers. Actually, where is the music box? That's where it is. Screwdriver. Ink. And that. Into here. It's not really blah 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 blah. Okay, got the Morse code. Beep. The fun thing about Morse code is that SOS doesn't actually mean for anything. It's just the easiest thing to send in Morse code, which is why it's the distress sign. It does not actually mean save our ship or save our souls or anything like that. You've unlocked the drawer. All right.
All ice.
Yes.
Alice.
Oh, this is what we
What does
needed.
this mean?
I need to know what was in the file. All this, we got Uranus.
So it would seem.
Bottom deck, library. Oh.
Junpei remembered something he'd heard from Seven when they'd been in the chemical closet.
Seven said something like,
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge beneath the navel of the Gigantic.
So she's in the library.
could beneath the navel mean the bottom deck? And the Forest of Knowledge is the library? Then could Alice be in a room somewhere beyond the library?
Maybe.
What's wrong? Something on your mind?
Junpei blinked. Only then did he notice Ace looking at him curiosity and concern written across his face in equal parts.
Yeah. I just remembered something.
Is that so? What about?
Well, don't laugh, okay?
Okay. There was no reason for Junpei to hide his thoughts. He began to explain his theory to Ace. Then he stopped. It wouldn't make any sense if Ace didn't know who Alice was supposed to be. So he told Ace everything June had told him.
The Egyptian priestess, an Ice 9. Interesting.
Ooh.
And the woman who wouldn't melt, who was recovered from the Titanic disaster? They called her All Ice, which eventually turned into Alice. And she was purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordain.
Mm-hmm.
According to Seven, this ship is where he hid Alice.
Now we're gonna find Alice.
And you think that he hid her in a small room, beyond the library on the bottom deck?
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is just a theory.
A nonery theory. Thanks for watching. Ace stared off in the distance, his hand slowly and absentmindedly stroking his beard. After a few moments, his hand stopped. He turned slowly to look at Junpei, and his brows drew together.
Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS?
No.
Cass?
It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter.
Is this like cryogenic freezing?
Put simply, it is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals.
Okay.
Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expands as it crystallizes, damaging the cell membrane. CAS, however, works differently. The object to be frozen is supercooled using magnetic fields, and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form.
And then you accidentally strike it, and then it causes just a small bit of a shift, and the ice crystals then actually form. This... I love the process of supercooling because it's happened to me surprisingly often when I'm making ice pops. I just have a thing I got from a dollar store, just like four little containers that you can put in. It's very funny when it actually like manages to super chill, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, awesome. You just hit it really hard, and then you can actually start to see the ice crystals actually forming, like spreading from there. It's a really cool phenomenon. Like, just look up super chilled water or anything like that. It's really fun.
It was originally developed for the preservation of food, as an alternative to the normal freezing process. Now, however, there are rumors that it can be used for other things.
For bringing the dead back to life?
What do you mean, other things?
Are we gonna find Walt Disney's head?
Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel.
Oh.
Space travel? Are you serious?
This one actually does make a bit more sense.
Surely you've heard of suspended animation. Cryogenic freezing? It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space.
Was when Junpei understood what Ace was suggesting.
Whoa, wait a minute there.
Ace looked at him and raised an eyebrow.
Are you saying that Alice was frozen using that CAS thing?
Yes, in ancient Egypt.
Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility. If this special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist, and CAS were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously.
You think she could be alive?
Maybe.
Well, I can't say for sure, of course.
I can't even say if she exists or not.
I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right? If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature...
That's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about?
You're quite right. It does sound unbelievable. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor.
What? You saying Alice killed him?
You mean the guy dressed like a captain?
Yes.
That's Lord Gordain?
Clearly, he was murdered. But if he was murdered, then by whom?
By Alice, apparently.
It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible. In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1. That door that requires the Earth key prevented us from accessing door 1. Who was it that opened that door?
Santa and Lotus.
Right. Clearly, the two of them could not have opened door 1, or any other door for that matter.
They missed a space. look at between the period for after right and clearly. There's supposed to be a space there. They missed it.
Who else then could have done so?
Junpei thought for a second.
Nobody. After Santa and Lotus used the Earth Key, they turned back and met up with me and June. Then we returned to the large hospital room and found Ace, Seven, and Clover. While we'd gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven, and Clover had stayed behind. But it's impossible for those three to open door 1. But what about when June and I took the elevator to door 2? No, still won't work. We were only gone 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters, killed that guy in there, and run back that fast.
I mean, they could have tried.
It would be impossible for any of us to be the murderer.
Yes.
That being the case, who could have killed him?
I don't know, Ace. So far, the only two murderers on this boat are you and Clover. And right now, Clover hasn't killed anybody in this timeline. You're the only one who's killed anybody.
Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time?
Maybe.
A person like that would know the ship well. They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors. The numbered door would mean nothing to someone like that.
Are you implying there are actual hidden passageways?
It would be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters.
I guess.
Then you're saying the killer was Alice?
It was Junpei's turn to raise an eyebrow. Ace drew his thumb across his lips thoughtfully.
Well, this is all only one possible theory.
All ice. Alice, is she really somewhere on the ship?
Sure. He made only one clue. The key in his hands,
Maybe
Uranus.
This card will give me access to the Forest of Knowledge and the big mystery.
We haven't actually seen the Uranus key used, I don't think.
What could be there beyond the Forest of Knowledge?
Because all the other timelines that we usually go through, where anybody goes through door 1, they end before we really open too many other doors. Because we find the number 9 door.
Anyway, whatever. It's gonna have to wait. I can't do anything right now. I'll come back to this later.
Key guard tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. New material's been added to the file screen. That should be the other key. Yep, so we can head here. So let's skip until I assume we're gonna talk to Clover instead of her being like suspiciously holding an axe in her behind her shirt. She's going to actually talk to us about like Snake.
A note.
Oh.
A note?
Yeah, I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes.
Oh, she's actually telling us what she found.
It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something.
What the hell? Let me see it.
No, not right.
Junpei wasn't going to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard Ace's voice.
Hey, Clover! What are you two doing? Hurry up!
He's getting mad.
Clover shrugged.
I'll show it to you later, all right?
Okay, please tell me you don't have an axe in your shirt.
Come on, we gotta hurry.
Before Junpei could protest, she was gone. Around the corner and off down the long stem of the L. A note? A note? Junpei was curious. But there was something else that bothered him.
From the look of that pocket, it doesn't particularly look like just a note. Jeez, what are you thinking?
Is she keeping the axe in her pocket
Crying
too?
out loud.
Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later and ran after Clover. Okay, we can skip some more. They reached B-Deck at the same time.
Jumpy! Clover!
June's face was excited. Something had happened, that much Junpei could tell
What's
by
up?
gathering her. Okay. In the situation, is not inclined to be excited about sun developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself.
We found it!
Found what?
We found it!
What did you find?
The door 9.
The last door! We found door 9!
What?
Yay!
Come on! Just follow us. We'll explain on the way.
Okay.
Let me actually talk. 7 turned and jogged down the stairs.
Well, if that's the case...
Wait for me.
We should get going as well.
I don't think...
Jumpy! We finally made it!
Yay! Relief and excitement in her voice echoed with each of them, one felt.
It's finally time.
Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe they'd done it, at least not just yet. Still, if everyone said it was door 9, then it probably was.
The end.
Feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and it feels like shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny the prospect of the escape was an exciting one.
Something's bothering me. Only 3 to 5 people can go through the numbered door.
Okay, can't skip this.
7 of us are on our way to door 9. That means that, best case scenario, there will be 2 of us who have to stay behind.
I mean, when we find Snake alive in the coffin there,
2 people. Is there a way?
I looked over at the clock.
4:30. We've only got 90 minutes left. I've got no time to wonder about it now.
Hey, Junpei! June! What the hell are you two doing? Hurry it up!
Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie.
Let's go, Jumpy!
June took down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could. Junpei followed. I think we will go until this ending, and then we'll stop there. As a group, they piled onto the elevator and rode impatiently down to E-Deck. It looked familiar. There was a metal grate between the 2 elevators. 7 grabbed hold of it and began to talk.
I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left. And
Yep.
that took us to the other side of the grate. After that, we headed down another hallway. It took us toward the bow and eventually to the number 6 that you 2 found earlier.
Yep.
We opened it and kept going. There was another locked door behind it, like usual. But this time we had to complete 2 different areas before we could unlock it.
The cargo room and the engine room.
Once we were through that door, there was another hallway that went the other direction, toward the stern.
So, on your way, you found the elevator.
That's right.
So, in other words, you kinda did a lap, huh?
Yep.
You came from that side to this side.
Yeah.
That settled, Junpei looked around.
So, where's the number 9 door?
Over here. Follow me.
Through this door. Then we began walking down the hallway that led toward the stern. Junpei and the others broke into a jog to keep up with him.
By the way,
They had been walking for a while. June, in silence, stepped with Junpei when she spoke.
you know, it's because of Santa that we're all here right now.
How?
Huh?
That all 7 of us are going to door 9.
What?
You don't get it?
No.
Santa, 7, and Lotus, what's their digital route?
9.
That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they'd wanted to.
They could have left me alone.
But they didn't.
Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them.
Oh, good for Santa.
He said, we can't leave June and the others behind. That's why we went looking for you guys.
And then you got on the elevator and went back to the central staircase.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one to stick up for you. I mean...
June felt his eyebrow knit as he considered that.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Perhaps June had sensed Junpei's concern.
I don't mean that 7 and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it, and Santa objected to it first.
Okay.
Is that so?
Good boy, Santa. Junpei was about to respond when 7 suddenly stopped.
We're here.
In front of them stood a
So,
door.
Is this...
Yeah.
Junpei couldn't see 7's face, but he could see him nod.
There's no other place for us to go.
Nope. Just look around. There's a big old iron wall at the end of the hallway.
Mhm.
The other hallways on the left and right are blocked by metal grates.
I see.
Where's the Uranus key card then? Looked as though 7 was right. Door in front of them was their only
All right,
choice.
Let's get moving.
Where does the Uranus door even come up? I don't remember the Uranus door ever coming up.
Oh,
Appeared like they'd been telling the truth.
no way.
First thing Junpei saw as he entered the room was the number. 9. Like all the others, it was a rough thing made of red paint. The door it decorated sat on the back of a rectangular room. Junpei ran to it.
The 9 door.
It was a large double door with powerful styling. Something about it was almost majestic, and it made the red paint look especially garish.
We're finally here.
And of course it blocked. It didn't budge, but then he didn't really expect it to. The red was bolted to the wall next to the door. It displayed its display read vacant.
No doubt about it. This is door 9.
Okay, no.
Oh, finally! This is the last.
Junpei felt a flood of emotion wash over him. He felt a chill down his back, and his chest tightened even as his blood began to boil. There was a moment of complete silence.
Junpei, look behind you.
He turned around.
Behind? What?
Junpei could scarcely believe what he saw.
Why? A door and a 9. There's another one?
Hey, what the hell? What the hell is going on here?
His words came slowly, and his brain struggled to understand what he'd seen. On shaky legs, he made his way to the second 9. It was a small door set parallel to the door they had come through, but in the other corner of the room. 9. There was no mistaking the number. But if any more proof was needed, a red was bolted on the wall near the door.
There's a red there too. That means... And of course it won't open.
Grabbed the handle and shook the door, not because he expected it to open, but because he had to make sure it was real.
Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It was Ace who spoke first.
Do you think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one?
Nope, they're probably both right.
I don't know about that. It seems unlikely.
What makes you say so?
Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far.
Mm-hmm.
They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle.
Yeah?
Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero's going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck?
Yes.
Then you're saying there's some sort of hint in this room.
No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though.
Well then, that means...
Both doors are correct.
Yeah, both of these are the right door. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
Yeah.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Sorry, just checking, making sure Twitch isn't being stupid.
So if there are 2 number 9 doors, if we split it up right,
That's not gonna work.
No, not without Snake. She held out her
You've
hand.
got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them?
Yeah, sure.
Here.
Slightly confused, he pulled them out and handed them to her.
Look at this.
Clover opened the notebook to a blank page and set it down on the desk. Everyone else gathered around her and watched as she wrote down a series of numbers.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
The numbers on the top are all the combinations with digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit. There's only 8 possibilities if we split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
So...
If 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right?
yeah.
Any groups where 5 can go through? Not almost as if she were pleased with herself for solving a difficult math problem.
No way.
Who's gonna be altruistic now? Room went very quiet. Sounds lay across everyone like a thick, heavy blanket. No one spoke. Their faces were
Come to
blank.
think of it,
Desperate for something else to look at, Junpei turned his eyes to the room around him.
what is this room?
The walls were covered with candles. Wavering flames made the shadows of Junpei and his companions look as though they were dancing. 2 rows of wooden pews filled most of the
It
room.
looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony, but what kind?
Between them was a strip of rich red carpet. Carpet ran straight through the room, ending at the door that pointed to the stern of the boat. At the other end of the carpet,
Is that an altar?
it was a recessed space set into the wall between the 2 other doors. Sitting on the raised section of the altar was a coffin. A coffin? A coffin.
A coffin? No, it couldn't possibly be.
It's not. We know who's in there. But if it was, whose body occupied it? That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. Decided not to think about the coffin for the time being. At that moment, Seven spoke. There was an edge of humor to his voice, but it was forced.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer. But I guess nobody's got the guts to do it.
I'm gonna
What are you talking
volunteer.
about?
Junpei didn't understand. He wasn't the only one.
What? You guys didn't figure it out yet? Fine. Let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't really wrong. She just... screw it. Let me just write it out.
Okay. Seven snatched up the notebook and began to write in it. Everyone else clustered around him, desperate for a look.
If
Oh.
you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right.
Oh.
But there's another way. Only one combination.
No. Oh, we'd have to leave 7.
If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination.
Wait, this means...
Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
The same thing? Are you saying?
Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind.
No. 7.
Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot?
Lotus was the first to speak. That in itself was a little strange. She'd reacted much differently when Ace had
No,
volunteered.
I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
I'm fine if Ace sacrificed himself, but it can't be 7. The rest of them began to speak all at once.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either.
June, this makes sense for.
I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
How dare you steal my thunder, 7?
Finally, they quieted down. Junpei looked at
Well,
7.
there you go, 7. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's gotta be a better way than this.
7 made some noise that was somehow between a derisive snort and a cough.
Doesn't make any sense.
He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water in the corner of 7's eyes. That was when Santa spoke.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet.
No, you haven't. Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of 7's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable.
Are you agreeing? You want to leave him here?
Santa shook his head.
Nah, I'm against it. I don't want to leave 7 here alone.
Okay.
Then I don't see how it matters.
I said alone.
Oh, he's taking more people with him.
Huh?
I said I don't want to leave 7 alone.
There was a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. Junpei felt himself shiver.
What the hell are you...
What? You don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including 7. I'll be leaving behind 3 people.
Shut up, Santa.
That's my proposal. No, those are my orders.
Santa, go away.
What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you?
You all will.
Hmm.
In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice.
1, 2, 3.
What?
3, 2, 1.
Santa was so fast Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and... Of course he took the gun!
See? I told you.
His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile.
What?
Shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. His chest froze and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs. Nothing made sense. Junpei thought as though his head were about to explode. Santa's sudden change in attitude. Thinking that he needed 2 more? A gun in his right hand, a revolver. Santa grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple.
Why? What the hell is that?
A gun? Where on earth had Santa possibly found a gun? Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. Seven spoke almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion.
The gun's from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was gonna do this. I should have taken the gun.
Well, it's too late now, fat ass.
Yes, it is.
Damn it.
I'm glad to know that apparently Lotus and Seven were also not smart enough to think, hey, let's remove the bullets from this gun, or make this gun, like, unusable. Throw it into the incinerator. There were so many things to do with this gun. Damn you, Chekhov! Mixture of fury and frustration twisted Seven's face. He glared at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't do much as... The corner of his lips twitched into a slightly wider smile. Then the smile faded and began to move. He walked backwards, dragging June with him. For long, his back was resting against the door. On the wall next to him was the red. He put his hand on the scanner panel quickly and then forced June to do the same.
Now, time for you to start following my orders.
Okay.
Ace, Lotus, congratulations! I've chosen you to come with me. Put your hands in the red.
3 + 6 + 1 + 8 is 18. That was what Santa meant when he said he needed 2 more.
You deaf? I gave you an order.
Santa's eyes were narrowed slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed frozen, like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car.
Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it.
No sooner were the words out of Santa's mouth than his hand twitched. Then the gun roared. A section of the floor exploded, scattering wooden splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke snaked out of the hole in the floor. There can be no doubt that the gun was real, and worked.
He really shot it? But why? Santa, why are you...
Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief.
Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends.
What?
You knew about the leaf words and the 4-leaf clover.
Santa's cheeks twitched and almost imperceptibly.
What the hell is that shit? I've got no idea.
You're lying.
Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid bitch. You want me to put a bullet in your fucking head?
Wow, Santa took the huge heel turn. Flecks of spit flew from Santa's mouth. His face twisted with rage. Clover recoiled, her eyes wide. When she spoke, her voice was very small.
Santa.
He snorted, then shook his head vigorously and turned to face Ace and Lotus.
All right, assholes. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? Your hearing's starting to go? Going senile, maybe?
Ace and Lotus still didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale beneath Santa's arm. Her eyes were wide, and her chest heaved with every quick breath, like an animal cornered by a predator. Junpei's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate.
That's it.
June's safety was their first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that she would be safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot, and she wouldn't leave the she would leave the ship alive, along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There was only one thing for Junpei to do.
It's the only way.
He turned to Ace and Lotus.
Please, go.
Huh?
No way.
Jumpy, what are you saying? If you stay here, you're going to be stuck, Jumpy. And so will Clover and Seven.
I know, but you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven?
Right. You just leave it to us.
Seven's already volunteered to stay behind, and Clover now knows that Snake is alive, so she will want to stay behind too.
It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of.
Yeah.
No, you can't! Ace, Lotus, don't come over! Don't worry about me, please!
June was almost crying. Junpei walked behind Ace and Lotus. He gently placed a hand on each of their shoulders and pushed them towards the door. They almost stumbled, and then righted themselves and took another step, and another. They turned around and Junpei nodded.
All right.
Fine.
Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly towards the door where Santa was waiting for them. After what seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door marked 9. Santa smiled.
All right, now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What? You think I'm fucking around here? I don't give a shit about this girl.
Okay.
The red doesn't need a person, you know? All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it again.
Also, how does Santa know that it doesn't need the that it only needs the bracelet? We haven't established that yet. Only Ace would know that. Give the revolver harder against June's head, and she winced.
Fine.
Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Lotus was next. Lotus glared at Santa and slammed her hand on the scanner panel. 4 asterisks blinked on.
Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. Soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid, and you know what happens, right?
Yes, you and June blow up.
Damn it.
They could almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. Bye. Have fun. Door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble, a drum roll to welcome the chosen few.
Good. Go.
Lotus and Ace walked through the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, and then hauled himself and June across the threshold as well. 6, 7, 8, 9. Later. After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. A gust of air it created caused the candles of the altar to flicker and die. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and Seven had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue veins that crisscrossed them. Seven shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the 2 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. It read engaged. He moved to the smaller door. The red read vacant. The digital root of the remaining people was 7. There was no possible way for them to open a door with a 9 on it. You may touch the surface of the door.
June.
He thought about June, about Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? Was that all that mattered to him? She was alive. She had escaped this horrible boat. That was what Junpei prayed for. 7 came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do?
7 opened his mouth to respond when... Hey, knocking! A noise echoed throughout the room. Someone was pounding on something, vigorously. It wasn't mechanical, it was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet!
Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. We know who it is! The 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from.
Where's it coming from?
Coming from there.
Could it be?
It's Alice!
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right!
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for show?
You're telling me to force it open?
Just shut up and try!
We need 1,000 failures. Junpei and 7 grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good group of little perches they could find and pulled with all their strength.
Damn it!
Man, it won't even budge.
There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
Another one?
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open?
Probably.
I think so.
Noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder.
Whoever or whatever's inside this thing wants out, and now...
I know that. But how?
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do.
Do we have a passcode? Couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be.
Isn't there a hint somewhere?
I mean, you have a piece of paper.
Well, let's look for one.
Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and 7 investigated the desk, but they turned up nothing.
There's nothing here.
Not making this easy, are they?
Nope. The sound wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belonged in that room.
What's the passcode?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
The world blinked. Suddenly, there was a voice inside of Junpei's head. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. And now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
Wait, what? What the hell was that? That voice?
Junpei was utterly and completely baffled.
Huh? What?
What's up?
7 and Clover ran over to him, but Junpei didn't know what to tell them.
Huh?
Brain blast! Told him he'd heard a voice, they'd laugh, or worse, they'd think he was going insane. All he said was,
Nothing.
He cleared his throat a little, too loud, and looked pointedly down at his bracelet. There's a pair of small buttons protruding from either side of it. Why do we need, like, divine intervention for this to work? Clover has the piece of paper on her! Junpei. He pressed the buttons. Truth, right, left, right, left. Yeah, this one. That was it. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 8 numbers blinked on and then off in a bracelet on the bracelet display. Junpei checked one last time. Yeah, but they didn't know it was for the watch. It still says this. It's the same
1,
hint.
4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
What's written on the paper is literally the words that just came to Junpei right now.
Huh?
Huh?
Hey, what the hell were those numbers?
Oh my gosh, are those?
Junpei didn't answer. He simply walked straight to the coffin. Knelt down in front of the keypad, running over the numbers in his head so he wouldn't forget.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Trembling fingers, he punched them in. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. That was all of them. He punched the E button. There was a moment of complete silence. And Snake had turned into Alice. There was a sound of a coffin lid unlatching. Someone sat out of it.
No way. What? Why are you?
Snake!
Oh, is that you, Clover? I apologize for worrying you.
I was kind of I needed a nap in my bed.
Snake!
I'm actually a vampire.
You? Why?
Junpei? And 7? Is that you? Is everyone else there as well?
No. Just like Rip Van Winkle. Still, it was very much like Snake to simply cut to the heart of the matter, it seems.
Jeez.
Junpei and 7 shared a wry smile. Clover's eyes were filled with tears.
You're back!
Oh. With a cry of joy, she leapt into Snake's arms.
Gently now. My body's still a little weak.
Oh, you're back!
Clover looked like nothing so much as a lost child who had finally found her home. She cried and cried and cried. Her eyes were red, and her nose was running. She was hiccuped and gasped as if she were about to begin hyperventilating.
You're really here!
Her voice was happy, but almost desperate, as if she feared he would disappear again if she stopped talking to him. Tear after tremendous tear rolled its way down her face. Her small arms strained as she clutched Snake's body as tightly as she could. Perhaps she had to convince herself he was real. Perhaps she was worried that he would be gone the moment she let go. Perhaps she simply didn't know what else to do.
You're back!
Come now, what's gotten into you? You're acting as though I've returned from the grave.
Not as though you did. I really thought you were dead.
You literally came out of a coffin, Snake. You kind of did return from the grave.
You jerk! Idiot! Idiot! Idiot!
Clover broke into sobs so great she could no longer talk. It was a touching reunion between brother and sister. Even though Junpei knew they had little time and every moment they waited was a minute they wasted, it felt cruel to pull them apart. Junpei and 7 sat down on one of the pews, waiting for Clover to calm down before explaining to Snake what had transpired.
I see. I believe I understand things rather well now, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In the shower room, there is a dead body wearing my clothes. Because of that, you thought that I was dead, correct?
I mean, it was a logical assumption. It quickly and neatly summarized the events of the several hours. Junpei nodded.
You also discovered a corpse in the captain's quarters, and Santa turned on you here, in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have it straight?
Yes.
Well, the dead body in the captain's quarters is a surprise.
Sorry, there wasn't a good time to tell you.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. It's the third dead body we found.
Well then, I've got a pretty decent idea of what happened while I was indisposed, but it's still something of a mystery who did all this, and why.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
The corpse in the shower room that looked like me, and the corpse in the captain's quarters. Why were they killed in the way they were?
Mm.
You don't know?
No. Why would I?
The guy in the shower room. We don't know who he is, so let's just call him Mr. X.
Okay.
Anyway, this Mr. X is wearing Snake's clothes, but you're wearing some kind of weird robes. That means someone took your clothes and put them on Mr. X. We need to figure out who that was.
I apologize, but I have no idea who might have done this to me. I only just now woke up. I was unconscious during all the events you just described to me. They must have undressed me and changed my clothes during that time.
Okay.
When were you knocked out?
When we split up to look for the red.
Where did they get you? Do you remember?
It was a small room in one of the hallways on C deck.
Okay.
What happened?
The same thing that happened to every one of us when we were abducted.
Gas?
A canister releasing some sort of gas was thrown into the room. I believe the gas is some sort of incapacitating agent.
Then that means it was...
Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Looks that way, huh?
There's nothing else I have to tell you. When I woke up, I was in this coffin.
Junpei crossed his arms and thought.
Why? Why did Zero make Mr. X wear Snake's clothes?
To get Ace to kill Mr. X.
How would that benefit Zero? I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean? And I have no idea how I got the passcode for the coffin either.
Morphogenetic fields.
Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Where did those words come from?
It came from Clover's pocket.
Why did I feel compelled to push the buttons on the bracelet after hearing them?
Seven had asked him about it while they waited for Clover to finish crying. He'd had no answer for him, and he still didn't.
All I know is my fingers moved on their own. It was like I did it subconsciously. I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean?
His mind was a maelstrom of mysteries, clues, theories, and more mysteries. He could barely think.
Also, Snake and Clover had been subjects in a similar experiment 9 years ago.
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. And someone did actually die.
Oh.
A girl. Her name was...
He never did learn her name.
Conducted on this same ship 9 years ago, and a girl had died during it. Morphogenetic field theory.
Mm-hmm.
The two murders. Switching clothes. The nonary game.
Yep. Never strange thing was happening to Junpei himself. The maelstrom in his head sped out words and ideas that disappeared back into it almost as soon as he grasped them. As he struggled through them, Junpei began to realize something. There was something that tied all of them together. The point connecting the dots.
Zero. He's the ringleader. The person who trapped 9 of us on this sinking ship. Zero should know everything. If we can uncover Zero's identity, all of our questions will be answered.
Who was Zero? Junpei had the beginnings of a theory. If he could only test it. Perhaps.
At any rate, we'll have plenty of time to decipher the details later. For now, it is of utmost importance that we escape.
Yes.
Junpei, it was 4:30 the last time you checked the clock, yes?
Probably close to 5:30 at this
That means
point.
we have less than an hour. We must hurry.
Hey, how are we gonna get out of here?
We go through the door, 7.
Isn't that obvious? Through the other number 9 door.
Yeah, we have a digital root of 9 now.
Oh yeah, you're right. With Snake, we can open the door.
Don't tell me you hadn't figured that out.
Ugh. As they sniped back and forth, Junpei glanced at Snake's left hand. He was wearing a bracelet with a 2 on
Come
it.
on, you gotta tell me these things.
I, assumed you'd figured it out.
Forget it. Let's just get going.
Seven stomped toward the smaller number 9 door. Clover, Snake, and Junpei followed. Seven quickly laid his hand on the red, and asterisk appeared on the screen. Junpei and the others followed suit and laid their hands on the scanner panel. Soon there were 4 asterisks on the screen. Seven glanced at them and laid his hand on the lever of the red.
All right. You guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Junpei paused for a moment.
Not yet.
Huh?
Before we go in, I'd like to check something.
Okay.
You want to check something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but before I do, Seven, could you pull the lever?
Pull the lever,
I
Krunk.
want to make sure we can verify with just the 4 of us.
What do you mean? We don't need...
Just do it, alright?
Okay.
But if the door opens, don't go in yet, okay? Please, this is really important.
What are we
I
verifying?
really need to check this, okay? Work with me here.
May looked directly into Seven's eyes. The older man looked back for a moment, then nodded.
Fine.
Yay, it worked! Someone pulled down the lever and the door 9 creaked open. And they waited. 6, 7, 8. After 9 seconds, the door closed.
Alright, that means the 4 of us can go into door 9.
Yes.
So, we knew that already. It's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Obvious. Yeah, you're right. It is. Now, what happens if we add Zero's bracelet?
What?
Zero's bracelet?
Why don't you take it out, Clover?
For a moment, Clover looked surprised, but she recovered quickly and stuck her tongue out at Junpei.
So you did know I had it. I picked it up because I thought it might be useful sometime.
Yeah, and you didn't tell anybody. She reached into one of the pockets of her voluminous jacket and produced a bracelet. Junpei took it from her and turned to Seven.
This was on the left hand of the corpse in the captain's quarters. If you look at it, you can see it's got a 0 on the face.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make this a little easier to talk about, I'm gonna call the guy we found dead in the captain's quarters, Cap.
Thank you.
Then I should be able to open door 9 with just me, Clover, and his bracelet.
Yeah.
Though the big question is, if Cap is the mastermind of this game, would he really put one of these bracelets on? Anyway, let's just give it a shot. Clover, give me your hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Now the captain's bracelet. And pull the lever.
Pull the lever, Krunk. However, error. Door didn't open. Red display read error.
Now, what does this tell us?
That's not a
The
0.
bracelet has to be on your wrist in order for it to work?
No, that's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how the panel showed a 3rd asterisk when I scanned Cap's bracelet?
Yep.
Whether or not it's on your wrist doesn't matter. All you have to do is put the bracelet near the panel for it to register.
Seven waved his bracelet in front of the scanner panel. Sure enough, a single asterisk appeared on the red.
Huh. Looks like you're right.
See? So what does that mean? There's only one possibility.
That bracelet isn't the number 0.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's right.
Then what number is it?
6.
Let's find out.
Junpei. Scan the bracelet with this combination. 7, Junpei, Cap.
Let's try 7, me, and Cap. If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Mm-hmm. We already know this. I'm not gonna mess around too much with this.
Hey, it opened! The door opened!
What? Why? What does that mean?
Both Seven and Clover seemed rather shaken, as they turned to look at Junpei for answers. The door slid heavily shut. Junpei raised an
Isn't it
eyebrow.
obvious? Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't it say 0?
This isn't a 0. The symbol on here isn't a number 0. It's a letter O.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it. I mean, we figured out that Cap's bracelet is 6, right?
How does it an O, though?
Yeah.
Does that mean there are 2 people with 6s?
Maybe? Before Junpei could answer, Snake spoke up.
There is most likely only one person with a 6.
Why? There were 2 people with 2s.
But I don't get it. What about June?
Well, this is only an educated guess, but I think June's number was never 6 to begin with. Her bracelet was flipped. In other words, June's real number is
9. This is a leap in logic. Because we know there are 2 number 2 bracelets! I guess maybe they don't know, but no, they have to have known that. Because Guy X had a number 2 bracelet.
That seems the most likely.
Then all this numbered door stuff was just a load of crap?
Why would you say that?
Because if June is 9, then the numbers wouldn't match up.
Maybe. Clover grabbed Junpei's notebook and began writing furiously in it. May leaned over to look
List
at it.
of all the numbered doors June's gone through.
I'll let you know what I'm writing, okay, Snake? And that's everything. I wrote down which door she went into and with whom. And I wrote what all the numbers were.
Okay.
So if you switch 9 in wherever there's a 6, the numbers don't work. If the digital root is 7, then you can't open door 4. If the digital root is 2, then you can't open door 8.
Okay.
Clover, do you notice anything interesting on that list?
What do you mean?
You're talking about 3, right?
Yeah.
3?
Santa's always in the room with her. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
What about it?
That's quite simple, really. You told me that the first time you came to this room, Santa was the first to refuse to leave June behind.
Yep.
Now, doesn't that beg the question why? Why would Santa do such a thing? The answer is easy. Because Santa can't open door 9 with only 7 in Lotus. Of course, there's only one reason for that. His number isn't actually 3. Santa's real number, 7? Would you be so kind as to modify my sister's equations?
Yeah, sure.
7 took the pen from a confused Clover and began to adjust her calculations.
This is what you were getting at, right, Snake?
Replaced it with 0. He read out the changes he made. When he finished, he looked at Snake. Snake smiled.
Thank you. That is exactly right, 7. Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
Ooh.
No way. Santa is 0?
And June was 9, not 6.
So there were 2 9s then. This leap in logic makes no sense because no matter what it is that there are still 2 bracelets. There are 2 duplicate bracelets. There are 2 2s and 2 9s. And apparently there was never a 3? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense, but there's no reason for them to believe this. It's like, no, there's no way there can be 2 6s. Like, why can't there be 2 6s? Well, because that wouldn't make sense. So then why are there 2 2s? Why does 2 9s make more sense than 2 6s? Why does 0 3s make more sense? God. I like the series, but this part, it always bothered me. It's like, where does this leap in logic come from?
Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3. Plus 3 and minus 3, they cancel one another out.
Yes.
Nothing appears out of order.
Santa was still playing by the rules of the nonary game this whole time.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
Maybe.
I'm not sure if he acted alone or not, but I think it is safe to conclude that he is 0, if my hypothesis is correct.
Okay. Clover bit her lips and seemed to be having some difficulty believing her brother's explanation. Junpei. Junpei remained silent in thought.
Snake's hypothesis. Something doesn't seem right. June's bracelet being flipped. Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets.
Yes.
And if that's the case?
All right, that's enough talking.
There are 2 9s and 0 3s.
Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
Door 9 opened. They leapt through.
Oh, it's right there.
The dead was directly in front of them as they came through the door. Quickly, they scanned their bracelets. And the detonator stopped. After pausing for a moment to catch their collective breath, Junpei and his companions headed down the long hallway in front of them.
All right, let's keep going.
Yay!
I think
And then
these
there's the set
stairs
of-
go to the bottom deck.
The end of set of stairs leading down to the ship. They leaned down and looked over the side.
Try.
Let's head down.
After deciding it was safe, they headed down the stairs. Before long, Junpei and his companions... How far are we? Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah. That happens. I remember that something like this happened. Yeah, no, I don't have the time to do this. I need to eat. Yeah, we're ending this here because I need food. So, yeah. Sorry guys, but we're gonna end this off. We'll be back with this. We're not doing this Saturday. There's something else possibly happening Saturday. I need to clarify a little bit more with that. But Friday we will be back with more Mario Odyssey. We'll be back with 999 on Tuesday, I believe then. So thanks everybody for coming. This was fun. We got through the axe ending. We sadly didn't get to see Clover fighting Clover with an axe fighting Ace with a knife. And but yeah. That's gonna be it for today. Let's find our raid target. Who could it be? Who could it be? Who is even live? Let's raid Aelita, who's currently doing Pokemon Sword and Shield. They're doing a Crown Tundra. I don't know how far they are in, but let's show Aelita some love. Copy in the raid message, put in any raid emotes that you enjoy. We'll be starting up the raid in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.